Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to GDEX. Sorry, I'm not fully centered. I'm solo casting this one. I'm randomized. Of course, you may or may not know me at this point. But we are finally into the Trackmania part of GDEX 2025. I'm very excited for this one. We already had the lower finals happen. We had all the group stage happen. And now we are going to bring you the rest of the playoffs. So it's going to be pretty much the top 12 from here on out that's going to be playing. We're just getting the servers up and going. I'm sure people who were here last year have seen a lot of the problems we've had. Thankfully, a lot of those problems are not really happening this year. So we are just getting a lot of our matches underway. The players are just joining the servers. I'm trying to join the server, but seems to be working pretty well. But I'm hoping everyone is excited as much as I am, because this year we are more than likely going to be seeing some new faces as our champion. Unfortunately, from last year, we did have Neil and Cackney and PC Gamer, who were some of the players that were in the grand finals, but they were they're not going to be here this week, or today, I should say. But we still have Nixotica and we have a few other faces, so we'll be getting them on screen momentarily. So we are going to, I'm just double checking to make sure one of the matches are ready to go. And it looks like they are good to go. I usually scream at them and say thumbs up, but it looks like they are set. I'm making sure that we have our second server as well, which we are going to be watching, who's going to be Nixotica, Samber, Sully, and Jampee, who will be on our stream. So we are going to get that on screen momentarily, folks. I'm very excited for this one because we have some, we got some good competition, honestly, coming up. We have, a lot of people have shown what they can do in these matches, so looking forward to this. I hope you're all looking forward to it. Unfortunately, things are not loading. The mods are not loading at the moment. Let me check real quick and see if for some reason I'm not getting it. Yeah, this is low. We're going to turn that up real quick. We're going to try to get some of the settings to work properly for us, so hopefully things will install properly. But yeah, we're going to be getting these matches underway. Sorry, I'm leaning at a screen. I'm running 100 things at once. But yeah, we've been here since 10 a.m. and it is currently 9. What time is it now? 9:15. So yeah, it's been a long day and we're still not there yet. So we're going to be getting the matches underway. Warm-ups are starting up now as, again, we are going to be watching Jampee, Samber, Sully, and Nixotica. Production, I think I've lost audio again. I'm not 100% sure what happened there. But we are into the warm-ups now. 5 seconds, and we are going to be starting on Cassia, featuring Gilo Rabbi. So good luck, have fun to everyone. Here we go. Round 1 of the upper bracket semifinals is on the way. We're going to hop on board with Sully. Currently the farthest one back. Have to be careful here. Tough outside. You really want to try to get the best exit speeds you can. I see Sully was able to jump up in front. Samber did fall back. The players did discover that it's actually better to go on the inside there. Nixotica and Jampee up in front, hopping on board with Jampee right now. Nixotica just showing really well talent in dirt. It's always been one of his faves. It's working out really well for them. Jampee looking to go on the inside line. Nixotica will go a little bit wider, but it's still working out for them. Tied up in the back, we have Sully and Samber battling it out, but we're going to jump back up in front. Oh, as we see Jampee makes the first mistake of the match. Nixotica has a lot of speed. Jampee still has plenty of room there, and he's still going to be able to take second place. So we are going to let you know that the point repetition is actually 10-7-4-3. I know normally it's 10-6-4-3, but after discussion with some players, I've decided that I think 7 as the second is good. Seeing that, well, if you get second place 4 times in a row, it's more than getting first place twice and fourth place twice. So kind of rewarding consistency a little bit more. Speaking of consistency, Jampee unfortunately making an early mistake, falling pretty far back. Sully back in P3. Was able to get past Samber last time. Samber doing a much better job this round. really trying to hold off that P2 position. Losing speed. With the water wheels, have to make an awkward drift to kill that water as fast as you can as you are approaching the dirt. Nixotica still with a huge lead right now. Sully still trying to find an opening as Samber is starting to pull away. Jampee falling pretty far behind, a little bit uncharacteristic for Jampee. The Kachow man himself. Nixotica with a great lead right now. Samber looking to follow. A little bit of speed loss there, but it still works out. As Samber able to recover from that last match, or that last round, I should say. And now we'll be able to take on P2. And we are going to be, you can see these points are going to be getting a little bit closer now. 11, 10, and 7. Samber just barely in the lead. Jampee 1 point behind as we go into the third round. Sully being the one to start the farthest back. Of course, the precision part is really tricky. You can nail the precision part, but you could also be doing it very slowly, which will end up throwing you farther back anyway. Ooh, Jampee hits the side, loses all that speed. Sully, though, could not take advantage of that. Samber barely holding on to P2 as Jampee's looking to make a push. Gonna go for the inside line. All coming down to this drift. Who's gonna risk a little bit more? Good exit speed by Jampee. Samber's gonna fall a little bit farther behind now, but Jampee starts flying around from the corners and falls back into P2, or P3, excuse me. And Samber, just like that, is able to take P2 2 rounds in a row. That's gonna be really good for Samber as he's been kind of bouncing back and forth a little bit with these positions, but it works out for him now as we are going to be moving on to the final round of the map. Nixotica pretty much cruising by himself up in front most of the time. As I say that, we see a mistake, and it will be the caster curse that will come into play as Nixotica falls into 4th place, but let's see if he's going to be able to push this one. Great outside dirt as he's able to pass Sully into the drift here. Sully goes into the hole. Sully's pretty much out of this round now. Jampee and Samber, the two up in front. Jampee last time made a mistake here, makes it work out. Samber ends up being the one going a little bit wider, losing a lot of that speed. So now Nixotica, who made the first mistake, is all the way up into P2 and chasing Jampee down, currently about 0.2 behind. 0.3 that is. Nixotica looking to try to make any push, but Jampee just not letting it happen. Great drift. Made a little mistake last time bouncing around, but much more controlled dirt. Nixotica looking to try to get on the inside, but no, it's not enough speed. Jampee ends up hitting the finish, bangs into the triangle, and not only did he have such a good lead, it fell down into P3 and just threw it up in the air. That's gonna be it for Cassia in the first rotation. And just like that, Nixotica with a perfect 4 first place in this first map. We're going to be moving on into the second map. Nixotica with a great lead, 40 points. Samber following behind with 25 points. Jampee, who we would probably expect to be the player that would be in second place, is currently sitting in third with 18. Sully following with, with 13 points. So it is a really close match so far with everybody. And we're looking to go into Nozomi, which is my map featuring B-Rent. And I apologize in advance to everyone for this one. But yeah, we are going to be getting into Nozomi next. And this map kind of features another water slide. And we'll see how that one goes. I think for some reason I'm losing sound again. I'm not 100% sure. Every time my face comes on, everything else breaks. But I'm actually happy to see that we do, in fact, have the score on the top. I thought Nadeo broke it, so I apologize that the upper semifinal B is sitting right on top of it. We did not know that the header scoreboard was going to work. But here we go. We're going into the round 1 of Nozomi. Jampee, the player we really thought that was going to be taking a huge lead, is the one that falls farther behind. Nixotica with a great lead, and Samber's the one to follow. Samber is just showing off what Samber can do. Into the no-break section. getting the water wheels, and now you have to make this really awkward drift. It's working pretty well for all of them. Sully looking to try to push his way in. It's not going to happen. But even the risky finish is a dangerous one. You can clip it, bounce in every direction. Thank you, Sully, for showing it off, and that's going to happen as Sully and Samber both make the mistake, and Jampee ends up DNFing completely out of this round. So Nixotica again with another 10 points, just running away with this one. Into round 2, Nozomi. Nixotica against once again up in front. I apologize that the mod is not loading. I'm not 100% sure why the mod's not loading. We'll have to check that one out later. Nixotica ends up falling a little bit behind. Still pretty close match. Oh, we're starting to load. We're starting to load, folks. Here we go. Jampee doing a good job getting up in front. I apologize. My camera keeps changing to P1 for some reason every time we hit a checkpoint, and I don't know why. Okay, didn't do it there. Well, 1, 2, 3, we have everyone coming in. Samber will be following right behind. Not 100% sure why my camera keeps changing on itself. It's possessed. But that ends our streak for Nixotica, though. Nixotica was just constantly holding up in front and finally getting a little bit denied. Moving on to the 3rd round. Jampee doing a good job being up in front. A lot more, pretty much expected to see Jampee up in front. Samber, though, all the way in the back. Nixotica also trying to fight back for his P1 position, but Jampee just doing a good job. The mod is loading, folks. Everything looks problems we were having here, but it looks like we finally got things underway. We had to reset a bunch of things. I couldn't get into half the servers, but we did it. We're in, and we are in Chimera, which is made by Kyle, a little bit of an RPG-style map. As you can see, the points have been updated a little bit. They're not going to be exact what we expect them to be in ECM, unfortunately. As I see that, we do see one mistake come in. And again, my game is instantly controlling who I'm watching for some reason. I don't understand why that's happening. But Jampee up in front of P1. Nixotica makes a big mistake. Samber is the one to follow. Oh, Samber falls down. So Jampee looking to pretty much have a free round. No, Jampee made a mistake. Jampee all by himself up in front makes a big mistake there and ends up falling out of that one. Good round, yes. Unfortunately for them, that does happen, but I don't know what round we are on. We're gonna find out momentarily. But Nixotica, 91 points, close to getting into finalist. This keyboard is possessed. I have not clicked anything and it keeps switching. It's supposed to be like that. Yep. Sorry, I'm talking to production stream, but yeah, no, it's all correct. It's just bugging out for some reason. Samber, though, unfortunately, not able to make a clean jump. So we're going to try to stay on board with Nixotica, and hopefully this keyboard doesn't take over. But Jampee, with a huge lead now, should be able to just run this one through with no problems. He had a wide open first place last round and just threw it as he went up this one. There we go. Jampee gets in. Nixotica to follow. So Jampee and Samber were tied, but now Jampee is going to be able to break away from that one. It's going to work out pretty nicely for him. Again, we are going to find out momentarily what round we are on. Okay, we're still in this one. Hopefully we'll be able to see a little bit of a cleaner round this match. Yes, we do have a live band happening, which is the exact reason why we had the big blackout. So you're going to get a lot of loud background. I'm going to turn my mic down just a tiny bit. Hopefully it doesn't allow them to bleed too much, but we are finally getting a good round going. Unfortunately, Nixotica is the one to make the first mistake. So now, Samber, Sully, and Jampee have a moment to try to collect a few more points. Again, the second place is 7 points instead of 6, what we normally see. Samber almost falling off there. Jampee is going to be able to run off with that one. And that's another 10-pointer for Jampee. Starting to break away from Samber. Good round for them. Unfortunately for Samber, could not get that P2, so he goes down to +4 points. And just like that, Jampee is trying to catch them all. Trying to get all those points. Yeah, you should have gone. You should have gone. All right, so hopefully things are fixing. Hopefully everything is going to be looking good as we are going to be moving on into our next round. Unfortunately, at this point, I don't know what map we're on. I don't know what's going on, to be fair, just because of everything that's been going on. We are actually going to be moving on into Noisia and Lin's map, Arasaka, as we are into the warm-up here. Now, Nixotica at 101 points now. The finalist points is set to 120. So 2 first places can put him into finalists and look to close this one out. Everyone else not even near the 100-point mark yet. Jampee will have to win 4 rounds in a row to really try to deny Nixotica and give himself a better position to fight to be the first player to get out. Now, currently at the moment, it's not the biggest deal for these players if they get first or second just to qualify. You just want to move on ahead. Later on, it's going to matter because there will be a pick order based on the positions of the winners and losers finals that everyone comes out of. So Samber, throw this one back as we get into the reactor drift. Sully now looking to try to contend. We'd love to see Sully get more involved into this match. Nixotica still with a good lead. Jampee to follow. Sully ends up clipping. So that's going to put Samber up into P3. Jampee still 0.3 behind, not really in a position to look and try to deny Nixotica. At this point, it's going to be Nixotica needs to make a mistake or get onto this ice finish here. You do slide, and then the spring sends you forward. It's a dangerous, dangerous, risky finish, but all 4 of them got through it cleanly. Nixotica, 1 first place round away from hitting finalist. Into our round, the second round of Arasaka. Nixotica and Jampee, the 2 up in front as expected. Samber struggling on this map, unfortunately. Samber did come into this match at a pretty high seed, if I remember correctly. I think Samber came in at 4th seed. So with Love to see Samber really start to pick it up. Currently sitting in third place in the points. Nixotica and Jampee, though. Jampee looking to break into that P2 cleaner points-wise. Jampee just can't seem to deny Nixotica. Nix get this one. Oh, Jampee even clips. That's going to allow Sully to get up in front. Sully gets an awkward bounce, though. No, he makes it work. But Jampee flying around finally closes that one out. So that's going to be huge for Sully to try to catch back up in points. But Nixotica officially first one into finalist mode. Good luck to Nixotica. Looking to close this one out here on what I believe would be the fourth map. At this point, I've lost the order because of all the blackout. Samber looking a lot better this round. Currently holding P2 at the beginning. Oh, unfortunately makes a mistake right there on the spot. So Jampee is back into P2 right now. Sully not too far behind. Samber unfortunately falling behind Sully. Oh no, Sully making a mistake. That's going to be now just a match between Nixotica and Jampee. But Jampee almost point forward. Never mind, make it even longer. Nixotica at this point is looking to just walk this one home. Jampee falling down into P3. Samber over a second, 1.5 at least away this entire match. Everyone's spread out. So Nixotica can only defeat himself at this point. He does close this one out. Samber makes a mistake. Jampee and Sully looking to join into this one. Jampee gets in there, and Sully will go. Samber, who just had a clear P2, just wibble and wobble all over that ice slide, unfortunately, and could not hit the spring. So going from P2 to P4 just in a split of 2 seconds. And just like that, Samber losing a lot of those points that he really could use to try to catch up to Jampee. Nixotica will be first place and will be the first to be moving on to the winners finals. Three players remain. Jampee up in front, Sully to follow. Samber going a little bit wide. He's going to try to use that exit speed, but you got to be careful not to go too far. Nicely done. But Jampee still way up ahead, 0.3 ahead. Sully falling a little bit farther behind than he would probably like to be. Pretty spread out at this moment. Samber just trying to see if he can get any headway to get closer to Jampee. But Jampee just needs to have a clean outside dirt and a clean ice slide. And it's going to be all for Jampee, putting him in at that 100-point mark. 2 first places away from becoming the second finalist and potentially the second player to be moving on to the winners finals. Hopefully at some point I'll be able to get some sort of update on the second match, the other match that's going on. Yeah, I can't see from that far. I'm a little blind. Hey guys, could someone find unanimous for me? Unanimous. What's the score for the other match? We're going to get an update. We're going to get an update while this warm-up is finishing. So the score currently for the other match is Flimsy up in first with 105 points, followed by Dummy at 72, Jandro at 66, and Random at 59. Woof. A little rough there. Thank you very much for that one. That was unanimous for you, but here we go. We're going into, I don't remember the name of the map, dude. I just remember Fish made it. I am such a good caster. Takemura as we go in, featuring Sully. Jampee looking for 2 more rounds to get that finalist. Looking to try to close it out here on Takemura. Sully and Samber, 7-point difference between them. One of these two, or even both, can look to try and put some damage down, maybe even some denials, but Sully unfortunately getting denied by the bug slide. Jampee slowly breaking away. Samber is going to have to have the most insane grass lines here. Really tight. Jampee goes on the inside. I thought you had to go on the outside there, but Jampee makes it work on the inside. Samber able to hold that gear 4. But at this point, unless Jampee makes a big mistake, there's no way. Not enough track left. He could hug that inside. Nah, he makes it clean. Jampee with a 53.9. If only I knew the world records. I'm the one caster that never knows anybody's world records. So don't expect it. Yeah, ECM is not working for this match right now. For anyone that's tuning in, we had a big blackout, and a lot of the rounds got messed up. So we were not able to catch this match, unfortunately. We just had to fix it and get moving because we are currently about an hour behind schedule. It's going to be a long night. Jampee looking to try to make this one a little bit quicker. Has Sully in the rear. Sully looking to try and take that P1 neck and neck between the two of them right now. Oh, a snag in the corner. Samber and Jampee make the mistake. Sully is now all by himself, 0.3 ahead, maybe even more. Samber pretty much out of this one, so it's pretty much just a Sully game. Unless he makes any mistakes up in front, looking pretty clean. Plays it safe. I wouldn't blame you for that one. So that's going to force Jampee to play another round to even try to get that finalist. Jampee now going to have 117 points, but Sully, those 10 points are going to get him ever so closer. 4 points away from Samber. Now, it's not really going to matter because we're only playing for 2 winners. But at this point, if any mistake coming out of Jampee like we saw just there at the beginning, this is the moment Sully and Samber both need to work together to try and continuously deny Jampee. It doesn't matter this round. As long as Jampee finishes, he will get the 3 points to get into the finalist mode. But it's going to come down to Sully and Samber to try to collect as many points as they can to get back in this game and potentially bring us to a double or triple finalist for our second winner. Jampee, though, not too far behind. Go for that inside line again, and it's working out for him. Sully, though, has a little bit more exit speed. You want to try to hold that gear for him. Beautiful drift by Jampee, and Sully, unfortunately, eating that corner. It's all up to Samber now, but Jampee is closing in. Oh, Samber barely touching the wall. Jampee went from making a huge mistake at the beginning to denying 3 more points from Sully. Jampee officially in finalist mode now. Samber ever so closely climbing up that point ladder. 98 points. It's going to be very difficult, but Samber is definitely someone who could look and try and deny. Jampee looking to just close this one out. Sully wants to get back into the match. Close one by Jampee. Oh, unfortunately, we have our first victim, and that is Sully eating the corner. So now it's Samber and Jampee neck and neck at the moment. Jampee looking to try to close this one out. As I said, Samber getting closer and closer to these corners and starting to fall behind, probably about 0.2 behind at this point now. Jampee going to go for that inside line. Samber's going to go a little bit wider. That's going to give Jampee so much room. 0.39 ahead. Samber had to release, losing that gear. Jampee pulling away. 0.7, make it 0.8 maybe. 0.9, Samber hits the wall. That's it, folks. Jampee will be our second player to move on to the winners finals. Samber and Sully will be jumping down into the lower bracket. And that's all she wrote for that match, folks. We do have the other match underway. I believe it's still on ECM, so check out eCircuit Mania. I'm also trying to check out eCircuit Mania, but my thing is very slow over here, unfortunately. But yeah, good matches, unfortunately. Even though we did have that blackout, it still worked out for us anyway. But there will be more Trackmania, 100% for sure. We still have the lower brackets to go through. We have 3 rounds of lower bracket, 1 more round of upper bracket as well. We will be watching the upper finals as our next round, while lower bracket round 2 will be happening. And then from there, we'll follow the lower bracket semifinal, the lower bracket finals, and of course, the grand final. So folks, don't go too far. We'll be right back with more Trackmania action here at GDEX.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to the GDEX Ohio LAN for Trackmania. It's been a long night. As you can tell, we are not randomized. I am Quilo.
I'm Helix.
And we are going to be casting the upper bracket final. The upper bracket final. So we're going to start out here. In the final is going to be Jampee, Flimsy, Dummy, and Nixotica. They're in warm-ups right now, and so they're going to be doing that as we go into this upper bracket final here. So I don't know. Any thoughts? Any thoughts you got going into this?
I think this is going to be one of the better matches tonight. Not to say that there are any bad matches per se, but this is going to be the most nail-biter one out of them all, I think, just due to the caliber of player we have playing in this match right now.
Yeah.
As we have, I think, the players are our final calls. We're getting the readies in. Match is currently starting in 10 seconds. So now, keep in mind, we have been here since 8 p.m. It is currently, I think, 10:30, close to. So
yeah, 8 a.m. So.
Yeah, yes.
I mean, I've been here since 8 a.m. So
yeah, of course. So
yeah,
definitely.
It's been a long day, but we're working through it, and we're gonna hopefully deliver a good show.
The favorite in this match, obviously, Nixotica. He has been the most talked about player who is currently playing in this match right now. But definitely, no one here, everyone here has the chance to win it all. So,
totally.
Quilo, I will let you take it away with the first round.
Yep, so we're going to go into the first round here on Nozomi, kicking it off into the first turn here. We're going to see good pace from everyone. Jampee taking out a short lead in the first. Going to carry that speed. We have a mistake. I don't know who that was from. I think that was Nix, potentially. So Nix is going to fall behind. Jampee's going to make a mistake as well. Nix is going to retake that third place spot. We're going to go up to Flimsy, chasing Dummy here for first place. Going into this turn, going way inside, but not able to carry the speed. Dummy's going to take the lead. Oh, Flimsy going out here, sliding out on the water. And then Dummy's going to remain in first place here. Nixotica trailing close behind, hunting his way back towards that first place spot. We'll have to see. This ending is pretty.
Nixotica.
Nick's making a big mistake in the ending here. Gonna have to respawn. It's gonna bring him back down to fourth. Dummy's gonna take first, followed by Jampee, Flimsy, and Nix for our first round of this upper bracket final.
Yeah, definitely an unfortunate mistake you see from Nixotica there, but happens to the best of us. Definitely happened to me one too many times than I'd like to admit, but here we go on board with round number 2.
Yeah.
Definitely all eyes on Nixotica, especially after that mistake. In all of his other matches, he's had a commanding lead. I don't think he'll have that luxury here just to try and he's definitely going to be fighting with some pace here. I remember he had a easier match and set his headphones down and said, "Thanks for the warm-up." Which, that's not verbatim. He's not a toxic guy. But here we go. Definitely a much closer round now. As you can see, on board with Jampee now. Nix and Flimsy's trailing right there with him. 1, 2, 3 all together. I think Flimsy dropped out in the middle of my sentence. Yeah, 4 seconds behind now. You see Jampee snapping back, getting his skid marks together. Definitely going to have to full send into this last few corners. 1, 2, 3 all tied up, and Jampee makes a mistake, clips his front left wheel as Dummy overtakes Nixotica in the last corner.
What a round.
What a round.
What a round.
Definitely, that's the kind of things we're going to be seeing for the entirety of this match.
Flimsy off somewhere. I don't know where that is. I guess we're going to hopefully get these mistakes out of the, shake it out of the system pretty early.
Yep.
Definitely don't want to be making these towards the end, but right now you get a little breathing room if you are able to make it back. We're going to the third round here. Going into the turn. All keeping pace pretty well together. We're going to see Nixotica and Flimsy fight for that first place. Nixotica pulling away. Going into this uphill here. The pack's staying pretty well. Oh, Jampee. And I think Jampee made a mistake there, crashed on that turn. Dummy's going to sit pretty far behind Nix and Flimsy. Not too far behind, but enough to make the lead noticeable. Nixotica and Flimsy fighting neck and neck for that first place spot. Going into the turn, very different lines here, but they're going to end up back close together again. As we go into the ending here, into the plastic, we'll have to see if this ending claims another soul. Nix and Flimsy. Nix getting the bounce wrong and gonna lose some time to that, giving Flimsy the first place here. It'll be Flimsy, Nixotica, Dummy, and then Jampee.
This ending has been the bane of Nixotica's existence right now. Definitely going to have to lock it in. I mean, definitely this is the normal amount of points limit, but definitely if you want to lock it in against players that are this fast, this consistent, you need to stop making those mistakes.
Yeah.
Those easy ones you can fix. But here we go into next round as Jampee definitely trying to get his footing back, currently in last place, but is definitely not behind at all. 3 points behind Nixotica and Flimsy as he goes to this wide line, keeping speed over this penalty grass section. Flimsy, Nix, Dummy following right behind. It is too close to cast as Flimsy goes a little bit higher, going to try and keep more speed into this downhill section. Going to release. Who's daring to risk it more? Flimsy clips on the inside. And now it is a race for the finish. Nixotica and Jampee. Dummy still in the running, but a little bit too far behind to be in position to get this pull. Now Nixotica, let's see if he can get the finish this time. Yes, he does. Safes it just a little bit, and it pays off. Jampee, new best time, 52-0.
Yeah, Jampee literally glowing into that finish with that car skin. Definitely seems to be kind of working through the nerves and starting to pick up the pace here. We have a pretty close match here. 8 points between all 4 competitors. As we move on to our next map here. Pretty good show so far.
Yeah.
I'm liking what I'm seeing. I like this close racing, and I think it's going to be good as we go into Cassia here.
Cassia has definitely been the it has been the decider on a few, which honestly you wouldn't expect due to the fact it's such a not a simple quote map, but one of the more straightforward ones. But with the tricky dirt sections and the gear issues, you can definitely mess up some things you shouldn't be messing up here, especially with the pressure so high, the players so fast. You need to try and get everything together, get your mind all in order as we go into the first round of Cassia, on board with Nixotica for now, as Flimsy makes a mistake early on into the rounds. Going to have to try and recuperate there as Dummy, unfortunately, makes a similar mistake to Flimsy. Both players now fighting for P3 as Nixotica clips on the uphill, and now Jampee has a free round all to himself. He can keep his composure, keep his cool. Both players going inside. Nixotica trying to fight back, trying to get that lead back. Going to have to. Nixotica and Jampee still tied in points. Jampee accidentally getting bad speed here. Nixotica now slowly creeping up onto the back bumper of Jampee. Going to have to try and keep himself together and make this lead just a tad bit larger. Keep it together for just a few more turns into this long speed section, long uphill drift. Gonna have to cut it as close as you can to this wall. Both players not daring to risk it as hard as they should. Jampee still keeping his lead into the last corner. Will he get it? Yes, he does.
Good round from Jampee here. Definitely kind of needed that to kind of pick up that pace against Nixotica again. But still, I mean, we have a very close point spread here as we go into the second round.
34, 32, 31.
Yeah. Going into the second round here. Going to see how they handle this quite confusing turn. See Dummy kind of falling to the back here, but potentially get good speed on this uphill, bring it back a little bit. Oh, but clips or has to release. And we have Jampee crashing into the wall, going to go out. It's going to be a battle between Nixotica and Flimsy here so far. This map can be very tricky, so mistakes can be common, especially right here. Some weird gear stuff going on. Definitely something to watch out for. Nixotica chasing Flimsy. Flimsy having a little weird turn, but Nixotica having to release. Going into the final section here. This uphill drift, Flimsy's going to maintain the lead. Heading into the finish. Oh, Flimsy gets a little airtime. It's going to lose some speed. Nixotica going to bring it back, but it's not enough. Flimsy's going to maintain the lead over Nixotica and continue to build up some points. Definitely much needed for Flimsy here as he's falling behind a little bit in the points. Not too far, but just enough.
Yeah, I mean, but definitely, if you're a Nixotica fan right now, I would be cheering. That is 2 top 2s in 2 rounds, putting himself in first place, but it is definitely still close. 38, 37, 36, and 33 down the board, as we see Nixotica. And if he wants to keep his lead, he needs to get at least a first or a second, because, oh, Jampee, unfortunately, making a mistake there, but happens to the best of us. Flimsy trying to send it into this uphill, and it doesn't pay off as well as you'd expect. Now, Dummy versus Nixotica. There's been 3 rounds and 3 battles against Nixotica. So definitely keep your eyes on the boy in the purple car. Dummy trying to keep more speed into this turn. Doesn't get as much as the jump. Gonna lose some speed in that dirt transition. Nixotica slowly creeping away from Dummy as Flimsy brings himself back into the conversation. Dummy inside line against Nixotica's outside line. Gonna have to try and send it as much as you can to this outside jiffy. 1v1, but Dummy clips, accidentally touching his left side of the car into that wall there. Flimsy now trying to fight Nixotica for the last position, and Nixotica barely creeps his way into the finish there.
Man, this map is just so treacherous. I mean, even in every section, especially that ending, just clipping the triangle going into it could have cost Nixotica. Luckily it didn't, but that could have been pretty bad for a situation.
What a score line here. 48 and then 3 40s.
40, 40, 40. Let's go into the next round here. Jampee with a good lead. Once again, blowing into this turn. Getting good to the turn. Nixotica in 3rd place. Close, getting up, building up some speed. Flimsy's gonna hold that lead, but Nixotica is hunting him. Jampee going a little inside here, neck and neck with Nixotica. Seems that Dummy has fallen behind a little bit, potentially a mistake there. Didn't really see what happened. Nix, those gear issues that I was talking about, Nix getting some, but is able to build that speed back up. Going into this grass section here. Gonna try to catch up to Jampee. Inching his way back. We'll have to see how he handles it in this final section here. Getting a little better drift, coming out with a little more speed over Jampee, but getting airtime and losing it. Jampee's gonna maintain that 2nd place with Flimsy going in 1st, Jampee 2nd, Nixotica 3rd, and Dummy rounding it out in 4th place.
Clean round there from everyone. I mean, everyone just held their position. With the score line that close, it's definitely a good call to just sit there and hold your position, not risk too much, don't give anything away you don't have to, especially with a score line that close. You need to play the long game here. Point limit is 120, and we're about halfway through the match right now, so definitely keep your eyes, keep your ears open on this one.
And it is neck and neck.
It is neck and neck.
They are trading blows left and right, all of them having good rounds, all of them making mistakes here and there. It's gonna be a very, very tense match as we get into the later stages here. But we're gonna take over in Takamura.
Yeah.
Starting the next round here.
The fish map featuring Sully, which it's one of the more straightforward maps, but definitely more easier to make a fool out of yourself of. You need to try and keep your composure, keep yourself together into this large bug slide section. I think all the players within 0.3 of a second here into the first round of Takamura. Flimsy trying to inch his way ahead. Nixotica losing a little bit of speed in that transition, overturning just a tad. Jampee, Flimsy, 1-2, fighting for that pole position. Need those points right now. 3 points between Jampee and Flimsy. Flimsy outside line compared to Jampee. As Dummy messes up his drift, that's just a tad. Keeps it together just there. Nixotica out of the running for this round. Accidentally made a mistake somewhere off screen. Flimsy, Jampee in the battle for 1 and 2. Flimsy just a little bit behind. Will Jampee take it? Yes, he does.
Good round here. I think the fatigue is definitely starting to get to these players here as we get into the late hours of the night.
With rounds like that, I'm pretty sure both of those 1-2 players play with their interface off. They don't even know how close that was, and honestly, that may be for the best.
Yeah. Again, keeping the point spread within 10 between all 4 players here. Going into this next round, coming into the drift, we're going to see Nixotica and Flimsy fighting it out for first, while Dummy and Jampee fight for 2nd place. Nixotica, Flimsy getting a good bug slide turn there, jumping down. Well, the Dummy's going to kind of bring it back a little closer. Going into this grass section here. This one, we've seen some weird lines from people. We see this kind of split here where some people go inside, some people go outside. Very interesting to see.
Ooh.
Oh, and Jampee having a little clip, but seemingly not killing too much speed. And then who is that? Was that Flimsy also clipping here? Flimsy and Jampee going to fall to 3rd and 4th place, respectively, while Nixotica's up in 1st. Dummy's going to take 2nd. Flimsy will be 3rd, and Jampee will be 4th.
Definitely by no means a bad round. I mean, every player is dropping pretty impressive times round by round, so you can't help but sit back and marvel at the work the players put in to be here right now, performing in the beautiful CorexCon GDEX LAN. I mean,
absolutely.
Here we go into the next round. Flimsy off to a great start now, fully sending it against those two corners, trying to make up for his, I wouldn't say lack of points as he's in 2nd place, but it is too close for comfort, being honest, as Dummy trying to force himself with the inside line, accidentally loses a little bit of speed. Jampee versus Flimsy 1 and 2 right now, as Jampee goes for a little bit of a different line and face plants into the scenery right there. Flimsy now given the home straight against Dummy. Gonna have to full send it into this last dirt turn. Gonna try and get your right wheels up as high as you can. As Dummy gets it a little bit better, but I don't think he'll have the time. I don't think he'll have the space. It's Nixotica.
Nixotica's gonna snipe 2nd place from Dummy here. An unfortunate clip on this very, very, very tight little roadblock there that keeps you off the grass. Definitely some nerves coming for Dummy here. So we're going to go into the next round. Pretty tight pack in the start here. Nixotica getting good speed. Going to go a little outside, but Flimsy's going to take a pretty good lead from here. Going down, Nixotica clips as they go into the bug slide here. Nixotica's going to fall behind, and we're going to have Dummy, Jampee, and Flimsy. Pretty close formation here. 1, 2, 3. As we go into this section right here. And we have Flimsy making a mistake. Jampee taking the inside. Gonna take a huge lead over Dummy. But making a mistake, having a release here. Dummy's gonna overtake the lead. Dummy going out wide. Gonna lose some speed there. Jampee's gonna overtake again as they go back, and we're 3 wide once again, neck and neck.
Dummy.
Oh my God!
Dummy sends it wide, accidentally gives himself P3 as Jampee keeps it together in the last turn, and Flimsy barely splits himself between the two cars there. What a chaotic round.
This is what we were looking for in this match.
This is exactly what we're looking for, and I would say, honestly, what we expected, especially from these players. Anything can happen, chaos can happen, or nothing can happen. It can just be straight racing or straight chaos.
Yeah,
you never know what you're gonna get round by round. Everything is new.
Yeah, putting on a great show here.
The next map we're gonna go to is Chimera by Kyle, which is definitely one of the more chaotic maps. It's a momentum-based one, so if you make a mistake, you're not coming back from it. You're gonna need a double respawn, sometimes just fully reset. If you come into a corner bad, you're gonna have to just fully mental reset, try and figure out what went wrong, how it went wrong.
Yeah, and especially
go into
with
the next round.
These thin uphills, if you're low on speed, it can really kill you. Going into the first round of Chimera here. Pack is pretty tight. Flimsy's gonna take a short lead out here in the front with Nixotica and Jampee fighting for that 2nd place spot. Nixotica is going to go up here, get some pretty good speed, and then get really close with Flimsy. Jampee's going to bring up the 3rd place spot ever so slightly, and then Dummy is going to trail behind in 4th. We're going to bring it back here. Dummy looking to get a good speed boost and a good transition. Catching up to Jampee a little bit. Going into this turn here, Jampee losing some speed. Dummy's going to take 3rd place as we go into the end here. Nixotica in 2nd place, chasing Flimsy as they go into the uphill. It's going to remain this order: Flimsy, Nixotica, Dummy, and Jampee.
Yeah, I mean, you can see with these dirt turns, you have to keep as much speed as you can. Try and figure out the optimal way to take the transition, or else you're going to lose speed to the guy behind you, and that's not what you want. You can see the points are starting to... technical difficulties.
Yeah, I think technical difficulties.
We're going to go for a round skip here. We're going to try and figure it out. Just some technical difficulties here, folks. Maybe a controller issue or a PC issue, something like that. But definitely, you can see the points are starting to even out. Just a reminder, it's Nixotica 82, Jampee76, Flimsy 88, Dummy 66. So they're starting to even themselves out. You can see the players are getting back into their natural positions. Not to say that some of these players are worse than others, but you're going to average a position more than the other guy. Mm-hmm. You can see with Dummy, Dummy's getting these good positions, but he's not giving them good enough. As you can see, Jampee bringing up the rear of this match right now. Had an unfortunate start compared to the other two guys. Nix and Jampee going for that nose down line, trying to get a little bit more speed, and I think it's paying off. Jampee was behind. Now he's fighting for P1, and Flimsy clips his back left wheel in the checkpoint. Unfortunately, he is out of the running for this round. And now Jampee fighting for P1 against Nixotica still. Both players just neck and neck. Gonna have to give it their all into the back half of the map as Jampee, full sense it, trying not to clip as Nixotica gets as close as he can to the road wall there. Jampee getting further and further away, keeping as much speed as he can. Will he carry it? Yes, he does. Dummy brings up third. Flimsy recovers, brings up fourth place, securing his 3 points there.
Yeah, that one's going to hurt for Flimsy a little bit. He's got a pretty good lead, but he's going to lose some points there coming in last place. It's going to bring it back closer again. Nixotica within 2 points of Flimsy here as we go into the next round. Starting off, it seems like Jampee might have gotten a slow start here, but carrying some speed into this turn, able to bring it back. The pack is pretty close, with Dummy sitting just ever so slightly in the rear. Going good into this grass section here. And as we go up into this jump turn, the pack is going to remain pretty close, going into the uphill. This is where we can see a lot of speed. And Jampee going off to the side a little bit, losing a wheel off the edge and going to lose some speed there. But Dummy is going to remain right on Nixotica's tail as they both chase Flimsy into the final section here. Going down, jumping over into the dirt, and then coming around this wall into the wood, going up into the end. Flimsy has the lead. Nixotica does not have the speed to overtake.
Good round.
Dummy will round it out in third, and Jampee, suffering from that mistake, going to get fourth.
And, you know, we were talking about Flimsy suffering from that fourth place there, but there he goes. He's recovered from it. He's gotten the margin that he had before right back. Flimsy, the first player to break 100 points in this match. And now Nixotica close. Only needs 4 points to break his 100. Remember, the point limit here is 120 as Dummy makes his first mistake of this map, or his first big mistake, sorry. We're going to go on board with Nixotica here. Going to try and figure out what
Nixotica with blazing speed here, although Jampee's going to jump in and take it over. Nixotica maintaining that lead as they go into the turn here. Flimsy is going to catch up to Jampee here. Seems like Dummy's still kind of falling to the rear.
Right now, it's the battle
trying to catch up to Nixotica. Going up, going into the end. Flimsy with a potential mistake here, but Jampee is going to hunt Nixotica down. With some lucky gears, we could see Jampee potentially catch up. It's not going to be quite enough. Nixotica is going to take that first place with Jampee in second, Flimsy in third, and Dummy in fourth.
Good job, Nix. Nix now the second player to break 100 points. Jampee only needs 4 points, and the same boat as Nixotica is now. We are going to switch maps yet again. I mean, this is about what you expected here. I thought it'd be a little bit closer between Jampee and Dummy. I mean, Dummy currently sitting on 77 points, had an unfortunate series of mistakes in map 1 and 2, but definitely, I mean, if you're Dummy, you're still in the running here.
Yeah, and especially because this is the upper bracket final, even if Dummy ends up in third or fourth, he still has a chance to bring it back. I think the fatigue is definitely setting in.
Yeah, Dummy.
For Dummy, if not all of these players here, we're going to start to see those effects really come into play here. As we go into Arasaka, going into the first round here, Gotta fix the camera real quick. There we go. We're gonna go here, very tight pack. Dummy going low a little bit, into the dirt turn. Nixotica making a mistake, falling to the rear. Flimsy in first, Dummy in second, Jampee in third. Jampee going very much on the inside here, but he's gonna lose out some speed because of that. Falling pretty far behind here on this water. Flimsy and Dummy are gonna battle it out neck and neck in first place so far. As we go into the turn in this plastic section here, Jampee making a mistake. Nixotica's gonna overtake and capitalize on that to not lose too many points to Flimsy, who looks poised to potentially take a first place finish on this round. But Dummy will be the final say on that. Going in to the final turn, into the risky finish, into the ice slide. Dummy goes too far inside and is gonna make a mistake here, really costing a lot. Could have been good. I think definitely working out some of the jitters, but I think Dummy has good potential to climb back in the points here. But Flimsy is going to he's going to overtake Nixotica as he works his way into the finalist position.
I will say that about an hour and a half ago, Dummy looked at me dead in the eyes and said, "Helix, I am beat. I am tired." So maybe that's starting to kick in. I mean, that's such a silly mistake. Is speaking of silly mistakes, Flimsy and Jampee clipping on the outside and the outside dirt. No matter how many times you practice that, silly mistakes will always be done. As Dummy and Nix get into the battle for P1. Dummy falling just a little bit behind. Let's see if he can keep more speed into this drift. Gonna have to try and overtake Nix because Nix is on the cusp of finalist mode. Flimsy as well, as Dummy accidentally clips just a little bit too hard. And Flimsy now right there with Nixotica, going to have to try his best. It actually doesn't even matter if he passes Nixotica here, they're both gonna be finalists. And
Flimsy making the same mistake that Dummy did last round, potentially costing that points gain. Jampee going to barely make it in.
And Flimsy.
Yeah, Flimsy's actually going to take back that third place spot.
And he actually doesn't even reach finalist mode. Remember, it's 120 points, and now he's sitting on 119.
Yeah,
if someone could screenshot that and send it to him, just to haunt him a little bit.
The finalist position to Nixotica, looking to close it out here and secure a spot in the finals. Jampee off to a good lead from the start, losing some speed, going into this outside dirt.
I mean, all eyes on Nixotica right now. This is his round to win. I mean, he has the full buffer as Jampee makes an unfortunate mistake.
A little mistake.
Nix a little bit further behind than I'd expect, but maybe taking it just a little bit safe, gonna play it safe with his buffer round. I mean, he's the only finalist right now. It doesn't matter what position he gets. He can't earn any more points. Flimsy and Dummy. If you're a Dummy fan, this is the time. Doesn't matter what position Flimsy gets, he just needs to finish. So you need to make sure you are keeping yourself together as Nix. Only has one man to beat now as Dummy clips his front right tire on the little block there in the downhill dirt as Flimsy takes P1, denies Nixotica the win. Good job there. Flimsy, new best time, 53.565.
And that's going to put Flimsy into the finalist position as well as we go into the next round here. Starting off once again on Arasaka, Nixotica and Flimsy in this finalist position, fighting it out to see who can take first place, or if one of the other two, Jampee and Dummy, can potentially snipe that potential from them. We're going to see Nixotica here in third, not too far behind Flimsy, who's out in first. Flimsy going to remain in that first place position. A little rough through here. Nixotica is going to hold that fourth place position. But Nix has shown that he can build up that speed and really build that through. We're gonna have Flimsy with a mistake going out, falling pretty far behind. Nixotica looking to chase down Jampee and Dummy to take that first place spot. Making good time, building up that speed, going crazy on the outside dirt. Going into the risky fit here.
His man, Jampee goes a little bit inside, yes,
but
and it pays off.
He can't.
Dummy actually sniping there, getting the second place points.
Nixotica went out a little too wide and couldn't get into the fin quick enough. So Jampee and Dummy are both going to put up points, big points here, 10 and 7 for each of them. Going to bring them both closer to that finalist position and deny Nixotica and Flimsy the potential to rest.
Jampee now, in worst case scenario, he is 2 rounds away from finalist mode. Dummy, I believe, is 4 rounds away from finalist mode. No, he is 3 rounds away. No, 4 rounds away from finalist mode. I was correct. So this is as close as you can get it. Nixotica, Flimsy, both finalists on Nozomi by randomize. So we need to make sure we are being mindful that this is a high stakes scenario. I mean, this, I'm pretty sure, correct me if I'm wrong, this will get you into the grand finals if you are first or second place. Remember, there's a loser's bracket. This is double elimination, so we're going to go ahead with the first round on Nozomi by randomize. All eyes on Nixotica and Flimsy. I mean, both players definitely have a lot at stake here. Remember, in the grand finals, there is pick and ban, so you can choose what you want and what you don't want. So if you are first, you get the first pick. If you're a second, you get the second pick. So Nixotica and Flimsy have more to play for than just a grand final position, as Dummy is trying to fight Nixotica, deny him of getting this first place right here. He needs to start this win streak if he wants to bring himself into the grand final uncontested, as he keeps a little bit more speed. I don't think it'll pay off. Differing lines here, Nixotica trying to even it up, has a little bit more exit speed. Dummy's gonna have to full send this if he wants it. All eyes on Dummy.
Not kind of Nixotica here. We'll see what he does. He is able to make it and take that first place spot.
Congratulations, Nixotica. You have earned yourself a spot in the grand final, as we will continue and decide who will be joining you.
Flimsy is going to be the one person that remains in the finalist spot, although Jampee is only 2 points away and Dummy is 14. So Jampee and Dummy are going to look to deny that win from Flimsy here. As we go into the next round, Dummy with a small lead over Flimsy, going to fall back behind into this dirt turn here. Jampee's going to make a little mistake and fall behind. It is up to Dummy to take down Flimsy and keep him from getting that win. We're going to go into this turn here. Flimsy's going to remain in the lead, going into the plastic as we go up and around. And then we're going to come down. Flimsy is going to release a lot, but Dummy's going to go out too wide. Going to have to slow down to save that. Dummy going to try to build up a bunch of speed here to deny Flimsy, but Flimsy is holding a good lead. Going into the end here, into the plastic, going around into our flip end. Flimsy is going to take it, and Flimsy will be our second finalist, or our second place finisher.
Congratulations, Flimsy. You have secured yourself a spot in the grand final. Dummy and Jampee, both third place, are going to move on to the lower bracket, and we are going to figure out who is actually playing in the lower bracket. I'm unsure of myself.
Yeah,
but
we're gonna figure.
We're gonna go to a little break. We're gonna get some players where they need to be, and we will be right back.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are back here with the lower semifinal. This is also going to be a match that you need to watch. It is Virtuo, Random, Sully, and Jandro, all 1v1v1v1. The top two move on to the losers finals, and then the top two of that moves to the grand finals. So we need to make sure you're keeping your eyes on this. This is also going to be a nail-biter of a match, similar to the last one we've seen, where double finalist situation, almost triple finalist situation, at least I predict, is how it'll go. So players are getting in the server, they're warming up. So we are getting ready. I mean, Quilo, how do you predict this match is going to turn out? What do you think the top two are going to be?
If I had to say, I would probably go with Jandro and Sully, but it's so close between them. Also, one funny thing of note, we have a Halcyon versus Holy Dynasty duos match here. Not actually a duos match, but it definitely seems like that.
not actually, but
we have a little team rivalry here between our American teams. Show your support for your team of choice as we go into the race here. Virtuo starting off on Arasaka. As we go into the first section here, Virtuo is going to fall behind a little bit with Sully. Going to make a little mistake on that outside dirt as Random takes the first place. Going to hold a good lead, but Jandro's going to follow closely behind. As they go into this water section here with the reactor. Going to keep a pretty similar pace with each other. Jandro biting at the heels of Random. Going into the turn here into the plastic sausage. That's what that is. The plastic sausage. Random's going to extend his lead over Jandro as they go into the final section here, going down into the dirt and then up into this outside as we go into the end here. A very treacherous end, so we could potentially see some mistakes happen as they get to this high level here. But Random and Jandro are going to walk it in pretty easily. Virtuo is going to make a mistake on the finish and give it up to Sully, leaving Virtuo in 4th place. Not a great mistake to be making, but also, if you're going to make a mistake, you probably want to do it early on. Get that out of the way as we go into the next round here.
Arasaka is definitely one of the more difficult maps, and not because the tricks are especially hard, but getting it all together in one specific run as Random decides to take a scenic route on the other side of the track. Goes far into the right side as Sully is biting, trying to fit his car between Virtuo and Jandro, going to try and push to this reactor up section. Who can keep more speed into this uphill as Sully clips his front right tire. Virtuo and Jandro 1 and 2. Going into the back half of this map, which has claimed many a car, many a victim. You saw Nix and Dummy were especially falling victim to the last time they were on this map. It was especially difficult going into the last turn here. Virtuo dares to risk it a little bit more, going to have a lot more speed into the ending here. Jandro keeping it a little bit safe into the ending and
Jandro
keeps his lead.
Really going with that inside. We've seen that can pay off. It's very risk and reward there. If you go too far inside, it could be a big mistake. Random's going to bring it up in 3rd place, whereas Sully is going to not make it. So we're going to see a DNF from Sully, which is going to cost him. Leaves him down at 4 points, while Virtuo has 10, Random has 14, and Jandro has 17. Going into the next round here, we're going to see Virtuo and Random and Sully up here. It seems like Jandro fell behind a little bit, but was able to catch back up. Going to keep a pretty consistent formation here. Never mind, they're trading spots, and we have a mistake from Sully. Sully's going to fall behind. Not Sully. Now Sully's going to fall behind. Apologies. Virtuo is going to take that lead with Jandro quite a ways behind, looking to potentially catch up and take a 1st place. Virtuo is going to hold that lead, but it seems like Jandro is making his way back. As we go into the final section here, into this downhill dirt turn, Virtuo is going to hold that lead. Jandro inching closer ever so slightly, but will it be enough as we go into the risky finish here? Virtuo is able to, and it's, Jandro is able to bring it back much closer than what it was leading into that. Virtuo going pretty far outside on that finish, and Jandro being very good at that inside finish. It's going to be Sully and Random to round out 3 and 4.
This end is especially tricky because sometimes you can go just a little bit too far outside and you can lose just about half a second for whatever reason. You need to make sure you're as far inside as possible and make sure you are keeping, not just getting a good time as Sully trips out there, not just getting a good time. I will retract my statement because apparently it is cursed. Jandro and Virtuo 1 and 2 right now, going to have to fight as much as they can into the reactor up water section. Virtuo in his bright blue car skin going to peel ahead of Jandro, just getting a little bit ahead. 2/10 between the players right now as Virtuo gets up into the plastic section, keeping as much speed as he can, trying to keep his gearbox together, not recreate a bad moment. As Jandro inches just a little bit closer, gonna send it as much as he can into this dirt uphill, trying to risk it just a little bit more. Has more speed than Virtuo. Can he get more inside? No, he cannot. Virtuo
I know.
keeps his lead.
Yeah, a little deja vu from the last round there. But Virtuo is going to bring that inside route into the finish, making sure not to lose that time. I think had Virtuo done that previous finish, we could have seen Jandro snipe that first place right there, but Virtuo is going to defend that. So we're going to see Jandro and Virtuo with a 1 point difference between the two of them as we go into the next map here. Pretty good showing so far, I'd say.
Yeah, definitely. I'm a little bit disappointed in what Sully has put up right now, not to put him on blast, but Sully right now has 8 points, which if you want to get into the grand finals, play on the main stage in front of all your friends and somewhat family, you need to make sure you have a little bit more, at least double-digit points going into the second map. But that DNF definitely is costing him just a little bit much. Everyone has rough maps. Just trying to reset your mental, put it behind you. And we go again on Chimera by Kyle.
Starting up here on Chimera, we're going to see a split with Sully and Random in 1 and 2, and then Jandro and Virtuo in 3 and 4. Jandro looking to inch back towards that second place spot. Going up close here, but losing out on some speed, going to fall back into 4th place with Random out in 1st place, Sully close behind, Jandro and Virtuo fighting over that 3rd place spot. Going into the plastic downhill here. Lots of speed to be gained here, but also a big mistake can be made. Luckily, all of them get through pretty cleanly. Jandro is going to be a little behind here, looking to catch back up as we have Virtuo, Sully, and Random fighting pretty closely for 1st place as we go into the end here on the wood. Sully out in front, Random right behind. Random is going to potentially take, and Random takes! Random's going to take by 500 thousandths of a second. What an ending from Random here. Really getting some good speed in that end here. And then Sully is going to unfortunately be dethroned from that 1st place spot here. What a snipe.
Yeah, and if you're Sully, you really need that 1st place. It's a 3-point gap between 1st and 2nd. So, whoa.
Someone flying off there. I think it was Jandro.
Obscure line there from Jandro going to send it just a little bit too much, exit just a little bit too early, is now out of the running for pole position in this lap. So here we go, Virtuo now in 1st place, going into this tricky RPG section. Gonna have to keep as much speed as you can in this drift to maximize how much you're jumping, how early you can jump out as Random overtakes Sully. Into this section of the map, the red plastic, keep as much speed as you can as Sully makes an unfortunate mistake, and now it is a battle between Random and Virtuo, and Random barely keeps his car alive, clips his back right wheel, but somehow manages to keep together due to the weird plastic physics of this game that nobody really understands. Virtuo inching further and further beyond as Virtuo now is in the running for a clean P1. Random nowhere near him. 6/10 between the two players. Sully brings up 3rd, Jandro brings up 4th. Every player finishing that round, surprisingly, with some pretty ugly crashes there.
Yeah, and a rough round from Jandro there as well. Definitely going to bleed some of that lead to Virtuo, who's going to go up into 44 points, followed by Random with 38, Jandro with 37, and Sully with 19. As we go into the next round here on Chimera, we're going to see a mistake from, I believe that might have been Sully, as well as Jandro in this turn here. We're going to have Random and Virtuo fighting it out for that 1st place spot, with the other two fairly far behind. Random's going to pull a good lead. Virtuo is going to look to fight back for that spot. Random's going to get a little bounce and lose some speed and go off the edge, and Virtuo is going to have a pretty good lead for 1st place here. All he's got to do is hold it as he goes into this downhill plastic here. Going into this last section, Random so far behind Virtuo with just an insane lead. Massive splits between them here. And Virtuo is going to come into the end with a monstrous lead, going up into the finish. Oh, and a little close to the edge, but will hang on to it and further extend his lead over Random.
Jandro actually DNFing this round.
Yeah, Jandro with the DNF, that's gonna definitely hurt in the point standing.
We go next. Next round for Jandro, definitely an unfortunate one for him there, but the points are actually looking pretty evenly split.
And another mistake.
And I think that was Jandro yet again there making that unfortunate mistake, trying to jump off a little bit too early, ascending on wrong parts of the map. putting himself 6 seconds behind the rest of the pack is Sully. A little bit bad speed there, unfortunate gears. Going to try and make the best of the situation as Virtuo inches away from him and Random inches away from Virtuo. Sully, unfortunately, having to double respawn there, has Random still in first, trying to get back this lead, get back the deficit he has to Virtuo. Needs his P1 right now. I believe this is the last round of the map. Full send it if you need to. Virtuo, more speed into the section. Random clipping just a little bit as Virtuo keeping a little bit more speed into the last section of the map. Gonna be a nail biter in the last turn.
Oh, wow,
Virtuo trying to send it, and yes, he gets it.
Wow, what a finish. Virtuo just able to extend that lead over Random at the very end. Seems like there might have been an accidental release there potentially. Kind of hard to tell, or maybe some gear shenanigans. Either way, a very great round from Virtuo and Random here. They're going to pull pretty far in the lead, especially Virtuo. Random going to be up in the 50s, and then we're going to have Jandro and Sully starting to fall behind a little bit as we go into our next map here. Pretty good match so far in terms of our top two, Virtuo and Random here. I think Jandro could definitely has some potential to bring it back, but he's going to have to really work for it, and Sully especially is going to have to work even harder.
Yep. I mean, just mentioning that last round, you're talking about unfortunate releases. You know the saying, better safe than sorry. So you definitely don't want to be the reason you fly off the map and now all of a sudden your 7 points that could have been 10 turns into 3. So just make sure you keep your A game on as we go into Randomizer's map, Nozomi, featuring B Rent as Random takes the lead to begin as Jandro actually overtakes into this drift that has some gear trouble, gonna fall behind in the pack as Sully takes that position yet again. Going to do his best here. As actually, we are finding some gear trouble, some penalty grass trouble into the downhill section of the map as Jandro try and get as much speed as he can, overtake Virtuo here. CU is willing to risk more in this water section. Jandro goes out wide, accidentally clips as Random overtakes into the P3. Virtuo and Sully now fighting for P1, neck and neck there. Virtuo gonna have to send it into the last turn of the map. The blue plastic as Sully goes out a little bit wide, giving Virtuo the right of way. Virtuo new best time, first round through the map, 53-1. Nothing to scoff at, but definitely can improve.
Yeah, Virtuo, once again, establishing that strong lead and further extending it. Seemingly coming out of these late hours, the least tired and the most locked in. It seems that we have some faltering from our other players here. Random is hanging on pretty well. Again, that lead from Virtuo is significant. As we go into the next round here, we're going to see someone fall behind. Random is going to fall behind a little bit, having to release and potentially lose some gear as we go into this plastic section. Jandro, Virtuo, and Sully are going to be pretty close, fighting for that first place spot. Going into this downhill drift, we'll see if one of them can pull ahead. We have a mistake from, I believe that was Sully. Jandro and Virtuo going to battle it out for first place here. Looking to take it. Jandro sending with insane speed here and going to take a massive lead over Virtuo, but not snapping out of the turn. Seems like Virtuo also had troubles in that. Jandro is going to maintain that lead going into the end. As we go see, Virtuo cannot bring it back. Jandro will maintain that ending, with Virtuo in second, Random in third, and Sully in fourth. So some good walking back here from Jandro, hoping to make that run back towards first place as we go into the next round here.
Definitely, if you're a Sully fan right now, you are a little bit sad. I mean, with these unfortunate mistakes, trying to send it a little bit too hard into these long winding drifts, is now definitely looking a little bit better. Definitely a more sound situation for Sully right now in P2. Overtaking Virtuo, actually now fighting for P1, gets as little penalty grass as possible, but clips just a little bit, leaving Virtuo to take the lead yet again. If Virtuo gets P1 here, and Random brings up the rear, I believe Virtuo will have a commanding lead and can P2 his way into finalists before anyone, and will have the full buffer as Random has a little bit more exit speed, give Virtuo a run for his money. Gonna say, no, I want this P1 more than you do. Gonna send it more speed into the last turn. But
Random making mistake.
A little bit too
Virtuo,
much.
Virtuo gonna take that first place spot. Costly mistake for Random here, but still able to maintain third place. What a round. These have been crazy. Virtuo is going to go all the way up to 91. We could see a blowout from Virtuo here, potentially, with Jandro climbing back up to Random. Only 6 points between them as we go into the next round here. Jandro having a little bit of a weird turn. Random catching up to Virtuo as we go into this outside dirt. We go into the plastic. Virtuo's going to maintain that lead. Random's going to go on the inside, try to overtake. Doesn't get quite enough speed. Sully with some speed going in, trying to take over from Random. Random is going to take the inside and maintain that lead. Let's see whoever can time their releases perfectly. We have Virtuo going off to the side. It's going to be Random and Sully fighting for first place here, with Jandro dipping in to try to make his bout as well. And we have some mistakes here. Sully with a good lead into the end. Jandro in second place. Seems like we lost Random into the chaos. Sully's going to take first place here. A big win. Jandro going to take second. Random going to take third. And Virtuo going to take fourth. I think that's a mistake Virtuo can afford to make, at least right now. We want to try to avoid future ones. But for right now, this gives a good points reparation to the other three who definitely need some catching up.
Yeah, I mean, Sully trying to inch his way back into this game, but unfortunately the first two maps did not sway in his favor. Virtuo on the cusp of breaking 100, the closest person to him being a Random at 71, Jandro 68, Sully 46. So definitely the battle for second in Sully is definitely still alive, but I feel like P1 is a little bit too far out of reach unless Virtuo has a heart attack here at the GDEX station, which, knock on wood, does not happen.
We can't Caster's Curse a heart attack, please.
Yeah, let's not do that.
We can't do that.
Here we go into the next map. Cassia by SQLC with Virtuo leading the charge as good as he can. Please take it away, Quilo.
All right, we're going to go into Cassia with a nasty start here. We're going to see Sully take the lead out in front. Random going to bring up fourth place. A close pack as we go into this transitional here. Sully with a good lead out in first, all going to take the inside route with Sully having to respawn for some reason. Virtuo is going to round up third place, chasing behind Random and Jandro as they go into this dirt section here, going into the end. Virtuo going to get good speed, but having to release ever so slightly. Jandro is going to get good speed out of this, fighting neck and neck with Random. It's very close, a three-way battle for first place here, as we're going to go into the final section, see who gets the most out of these drifts. And Jandro is going to take this lead here, and Virtuo is going to take the inside. Jandro's going to make the mistake, and Random is actually going to go and take first place from Virtuo and Jandro.
Fully died there.
Yeah, Jandro is not doing well, and Sully even worse, unfortunately.
He does get the finish though, so there is some recuperation there, but definitely a very good round from our top two. Virtuo, congratulations on breaking 100 points. Now you only need 2 wins to secure your finalist mode. Definitely, you want to get finalist mode as early as you can here, because with players that are pushing your pace constantly, you need to make sure you're driving as consistent as possible. I mean, Sully has had some unfortunate crashes, Jandro has unfortunate crashes, even Virtuo has had unfortunate crashes here. Nobody is safe from what is going on right now. Virtuo actually in last place now, speaking of all this this finalist talk, as we go on board. The Halcyon guys currently 1 and 3, the HD guys 2 and 4. As Sully and Jandro are in a battle for P1 right now, going to try as hard as he can. Sully pushing as much as he can. He needs to push if he wants to have a chance of getting second place in this match. Into the last few dirt corners as Random slowly creeps up, a little bit more speed than both the players. Sully, more than a wheel length as Sully slowly but surely inches his way into the finish.
Wow, what a round.
500ths between Sully and Jandro.
Good round, good round.
Between Jandro and Random. Good round.
Yeah. No, it's good to see all 4 players finish within a very close margin of each other. Going into the next round, Virtuo slowing down the pace a little bit, but still has a significant lead over Random with 85 points. And Jandro close behind with 79. Sully looking to make some big progress here at 59 points. As we go in here, the 4 of them are pretty close together. Virtuo falling behind a little bit. Random gonna hold that lead out in front of Sully and Jandro as we go into this wet plastic section here. Any gear shenanigans that could potentially... Oh, Virtuo is gonna bring it back closer to Sully. Jandro and Random both gonna have to release there, bring it back to 4 wide into our second half of this section here. Going into the end, it's gonna be Sully, then Jandro. Sully, Virtuo, Jandro, and Random. As we go to the end here, we have a mistake, I believe, from Random, at least a release. Jandro and Virtuo fighting it out for first place. Jandro's gonna keep it over Virtuo, followed up by Random and Sully. Pretty big for Jandro here over Random, bringing back that points lead. It's gonna be a significant thing. It's actually gonna tie him up. It's gonna tie him up, so that is big for Jandro.
The Halcyon boys currently 89 points each. As Sully, you saw in the last round there, he was keeping P1. He was comfortably keeping P1 until the last section of this map, where things just begin to fall apart slowly but surely for Sully's pace, which, been there, done that, Mr. Sully. As now he's trailing 4th place, goes to the inside line, so does everyone else in the lobby. And he clips his back right tire, gonna put himself out of the running unless something catastrophic happens. So we need to make sure Virtuo now, if he gets P1 here, he is in finalist mode. So definitely keep your eyes on Virtuo and Jandro. Jandro needs to make sure he's staying just a little bit ahead of Virtuo. It doesn't matter. Either he wins by 1 or wins by 100. He just needs to stay in front of Virtuo this round. Make sure at least get to the next map. You can reset Virtuo, maybe give yourself a better advantage. Maybe his muscle memory not as warmed up, and yes, he does. Jandro with a 59.45. Not a bad time at all.
Sully, I think things are finally catching up to him. But it is nice to see Jandro deciding to lock in after a rough start. Gonna pull a lead over Random by 6 points. Virtuo at 118 as we go into our next map. Virtuo definitely with the chance to close this out and get first place, but it'll be a very interesting battle between Random and Jandro.
Oh yeah, I mean, Virtuo only needs to finish once. It doesn't matter what position. He can be dead last by 10 seconds. All he needs is to cross his car into the finish line one last time, and he gets that big red F that all Trackmania players dream of. Totally. So you need to make sure you are on your A game here. We're on Fish's map, which is Takamura, featuring one of our players we have in the lobby here today, Sully. So maybe this is the chance.
This could be the Sully comeback right here.
Yeah, could we please get some Sully comeback in the Twitch chat if you're watching at home? Which, thank you all for watching, by the way. This has been a pleasure. Me and Quilo are grateful we get this opportunity. As Sully, we speak it into existence. He is in P1 at the beginning of the map. As Virtuo trailing right behind. Random close near. Jandro trying to pull ahead of Random. Here we go, Jandro trying to get a little bit of more exit speed into that bug slide. As Random gets the longer end of the stick there. Going to keep it in front. We are in perfect line formation here as Random unfortunately makes a large clipping mistake there. Nobody going for the inside line in this lobby. Sully goes a little bit wider, gonna try and keep a little bit more speed through this drift as Virtuo and Sully too wide in the last turn, last checkpoint. Sully needs this P1 right now. Virtuo will be finalist no matter what, but Sully needs a P1. Doesn't get it, unfortunately, as Virtuo is our first finalist of the match.
Yeah, still not the worst outcome for Sully here. I mean, second place is definitely better than third or fourth, but Virtuo is going to go into that finalist spot and seek to close this out. As we go into the next round here on Takamura. Starting up, we have Jandro with a slight lead out in front. Going into the turn. This bug slide is probably where we're going to see some differences in pace. Virtuo lagging behind a little bit, but going very inside on that bug slide. Going into this downhill dirt, we're going to see Random out in front, Sully in second, Jandro in second actually. Someone crashed. I think that was Sully. Not good for Sully here. Random's going to hold that lead out in front, followed by Virtuo and then Jandro. No one's going to go for that inside line again. It seems to be a Jampee exclusive. But Virtuo is going to maintain a lead out in front with Jandro close behind, looking to deny that first place finish to move on to the next round. Virtuo with the lead out in the end, going in and will secure it over Jandro.
Congratulations,
Followed
Virtuo.
up by Sully and Random. Congratulations,
for
Virtuo, for moving on to the next round.
Virtuo is in the losers bracket final.
Made a great climb back. And we're going to see the battle between Jandro and Random take place. Jandro with a pretty good lead over Random. Sully unfortunately lagging behind quite a bit. Jandro going to take a good lead out here in the start. Random going to fall behind a little bit in between Sully. Going in very close on the bug side. Random is going to bring it back, overtaking Sully and starting to claw back at Jandro. Jandro's going to maintain that lead with some good turns, but Random is hunting for Jandro. Sully looking to deny more points for these two. Jandro and Random fighting. Jandro goes out wide. Random's going to bring it back closer as they go into this final drift here. We're going to go into the dirt with Random in the lead, having to release a little bit, but still able to maintain that lead. Jandro is going to overtake into the end, but then Random is able to snipe back, denying Jandro a bigger points gain, and is going to bring that closer.
Very
and
close
Sully
round
rounding
there.
up in fourth.
Very close round. Less than a tenth between all three players. Can we get a GR in the chat?
GR in the chat.
GR in the chat. Congratulations. Sully, unfortunately, having a bad start there. So we're going to let the Halcyon boys drive away on this track. Sully a little bit too far to be in the conversation for this round. Not to say he's out of the conversation for second place and if he goes on a monstrous lead, but unfortunately Random has made a large mistake as well. But Sully, that beginning mistake, having to back up and retake the checkpoint was just a little bit too much for it to be
Jandro with a mistake
again, and Jandro face plants as Random slingshots ahead of Jandro. This round is completely chaotic as Sully is 4 seconds behind.
Jandro seeking
our boys
to bring it back.
Yellow.
Good speed, but Random's got the lead. Jandro coming into the end. A mistake is what it's going to take to get Random to give that up, and he will not.
You know what this means, Quilo? We are in a double finalist situation.
It's a double finalist.
For the spot.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
Random's not there.
Oh, Random's at 119, meaning Jandro has the full round of buffer to realign himself with the new map.
It's been a long day.
It has been a long day. We don't know how to do math anymore. It is almost midnight here in Columbus, Ohio. So
is it really?
It sure is. We are passing by.
Yeah.
So Jandro, with the big red F next to his name, he has the full round of buffer to try and make do with this situation. And Sully, unfortunately, he's going to have to go on a 4-round win streak, uncontested, to get finalist mode. He'd have to win 5 in a row to secure that spot. Here we go. All eyes on Jandro in this round.
Going into Arasaka. It's going to be Random and Sully out in front with Jandro falling a little behind, but getting a good turn. Clipping, going to fall behind here. This could mean that Random is going to go into the finalist, but we'll have to see what's going to come of that. Jandro may be down, but potentially not out. It's not looking good. Sully's going to hold out a lead. This could be the comeback we've been looking for. However, Random is close behind, looking to deny that. Random, not quite as good. Ever so slightly able to overtake Sully here, but having to bob and weave a little bit around. Random and Sully are going to go neck and neck into the finish here, into the uphill dirt as we go into this ice slide finish. Sully and Random. Sully is ever so slightly going to take the win over Random, which is going to put Random into the finalist spot, and Jandro is going to miss a chance to take that first place spot further expose himself to potential third place.
Double final situation here, folks. This is what you want to see for second place. Second place moves on. And if you are not first or second, you are eliminated from the tournament. You will join the wonderful audience we have here on site. That's Random in a battle with P1 against Sully, as Sully clips his left set of tires right there. Going to unfortunately be out of the running. That engine off section just a little bit too harsh, as Jandro is in first place with a honestly really commanding lead for the beginning of this map. 0.8 between first and second. This could be exactly what he needs to secure himself into the next stage of the tournament. Here we go, into the plastic winding section of the map. Random needs to keep it clean, needs to keep his gearbox in check if he wants to try and overtake, have a chance here. Gonna have to full send it inside, and
Random with a mistake, clipping.
Makes a large mistake, clips his front set of tires. All eyes on Jandro, last turn. And he misses!
He misses it!
And Random makes his way into the finish, securing himself into the next stage of the tournament.
Oh.
And that is it, folks. That is lights out for Jandro.
That'll be it for that. Unfortunate for Jandro here. Definitely risk it to get a good finish. Unfortunate. Good round to all players. Congrats to Virtuo and Random for moving on to the losers final. I believe it's the losers final.
Yep.
Which will then move on to the grand final.
So we're going to get set up here, folks, here at GDEX. But I promise you, we will be right back with some more action. Please stay tuned.
And shout out Sully and Jandro. Y'all played great.
Yep.
GR.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the loser bracket final. This is the second to last match we have tonight, and I guarantee you it'll be one you want to watch. We currently have Jampee, Random, Virtuo, and Dummy in the lobby right now, getting warmed up, getting ready to prove that they deserve to be on the grand stage here tonight in Columbus, Ohio.
Yeah, we've got Random and Virtuo climbing their way back from the lower bracket, starting in the lower bracket, whereas we have Jampee and Dummy looking to defend themselves from elimination.
Yeah, Dummy and Jampee came into the lower bracket a little bit later than the other two, and we just saw what happened to Virtuo and Random. Unfortunate that Jandro cannot be here right now with that.
Absolutely.
With a horrible mistake, but happens to the best of us.
Yeah.
So we are going to go ahead and try and just make sure that these players are on the A game right now. You cannot afford mistakes. You cannot afford to have a bad map 1 or map 2. You need to make sure you are just being okay at least every round. You need to make sure you're finishing every round, because DNFs here will cost you. You need to make sure if you're P1, you stay P1.
Yeah.
Every little movement, every little action, every turn of the wheel, all of that counts right now. This is the second to last match. We are going to go ahead and go on board.
Yeah, and at this point, slow and steady is no longer going to win the race.
No.
You got to be fast.
Got to be fast.
And I'm keeping my eye on Virtuo here, who has made an insane run from the lower brackets up in here, looking at a chance to hop into the grand final. And we're going to start here on Cassia by SQLC.
Cassia is definitely one of the, I mentioned this before, but it is a pace pusher. If you're fast on this map, you're fast on this map. If you make a tiny mistake, if your gearbox starts rumbling in weird, odd ways, if you get stuck between gear 3 and 4, you're going to have a bad time, and you're definitely going to have a bad lap going in. As we begin on Cassia, the second to last match, please take it away, Quilo.
Yeah, we're going to start here on Cassia. Getting ready to go. We're going to have the 4 holding a pretty close lead. Virtuo in the rear. We have Random falling a little bit. Potential mistake here. Jampee out in front. followed by Virtuo, Dummy, and Random. Random with some good speed, looking to catch up to Dummy here. Dummy's going to fall back into 4th place. Jampee and Random going to make a mistake. Virtuo and Dummy looking to fight it out for 1st place here. Dummy with some great speed, but having to go out a little wide. Going to lose a little bit there. Virtuo is going to hold that lead into this downhill. Dummy looking to come back as we go into this grass section here and go towards our end. Virtuo going to hold that lead. Dummy going to go inside, trying to bring back that claw back towards Virtuo. Virtuo going to go outside, but Dummy's going to get good speed. Dummy's going to get close. Virtuo's going to keep holding that lead. It's not going to be enough for Dummy. Virtuo is going to take the 1st round here. Off to a great start for Virtuo with Dummy and getting 2nd place. And then it's going to be followed up by Jampee and Random in 3rd and 4th.
Very respectable time by Virtuo there. I mean, 59.6 is definitely, it can get faster, but for a 1st round, that is, you should be proud of that, Virtuo. That is a astoundingly good time, especially with all the chaos happening behind you. Please,
totally.
I please, someone speech bubble gift that. I want to see that for the rest of my life. As we go on board, round number 2, Cassia. You see Virtuo now holding up the rear. And remember, I just want to point out, Dummy only lost his match because he had such a slow start in map 1 and map 2. So if he can put that together right now, as we see Random falling behind in the back of the pack, just only a few tenths slower, and not anymore. And Virtuo now holding up P3. As Dummy, if Dummy can make sure he keeps his 1st maps clean and let his fingers get warm against all the other players and push his pace every single round, I think Dummy can go either 1st or 2nd, as Jampee and Dummy are now in the battle for P1 going into the last few turns. This uphill drift has claimed many a victim, will not claim either of these two, as Dummy gets a little bit more speed. Jampee now goes for the inside line. Dummy risking it just a little bit as Virtuo overtakes Dummy in the last corner.
What a round from Jampee, able to snipe that away from Dummy. Virtuo going to bring in that 2nd place spot with Dummy in 3rd, Random in 4th. As we go into the next round here, Virtuo with 17 points up in 1st place, above Jampee with 14, Dummy with 11, Random with 6 here. As we go into the next round, Virtuo looking to extend that lead, but sitting pretty back there. We're gonna have Jampee and Random fighting it out in front, but Virtuo with great speed going into transition, looking to overtake that 2nd place spot. Jampee out in front with a considerable lead, but also one that can go pretty quickly in the wrong circumstances. Jampee's going to hold that lead. They're all going to go through here, trying to keep as much speed as possible and avoid any gear shenanigans in this dirt section here. Jampee continuing to hold that lead. Dummy able to take 2nd place, crawling back at Jampee, neck and neck, back and forth with Virtuo, fighting over that 2nd place spot, and they're going to fight it out into the end here. Dummy pulling away with more speed. Jampee with a considerable lead, having to potentially release a little bit and giving some leeway to Virtuo, who is able to bring it back close enough, but it's not. It is enough. Dummy
and Random.
Dummy unfortunately crashing the triangle at the end.
Random
which is going to let Virtuo
missed the mark to reach that P3 spot. But if you're Dummy right now, you're a little bit nervous, as Jampee and Virtuo are tied for 1st right now. So this is all eyes on these 2 players, because one of them are going to break the tie. So you need to, whoever has that lead going in out of the 1st map, you need to make sure you are keeping yourself together, keeping your composure, because trying to maintain the lead is completely different than trying to get the lead. As Random, Virtuo, Jampee are currently 1, 2, 3. Dummy leading up the rear, 0.7 behind Jampee, trying to claw his way back through this unfortunate dirt section. Gets his gear 4, gets it pretty clean. Random slowing down a little bit. Dummy sending it as hard as he can through all these turns. Just gonna try and get more than the +3 you get from 4th place, as Random makes a little bit of a mistake, but Dummy doesn't have the speed nor the time to capitalize it, and Jampee accidentally clips his front tires, letting Dummy overtake Random as well through this last section, and all of a sudden a P4 from Dummy turned into a P2, and Jampee is now P4.
That's huge for Dummy here.
That is huge for Dummy. I believe that was the last round of this map as well, meaning that Virtuo is P1 into the last, or into the 2nd map, sorry.
All good.
Yeah. Definitely kind of what we were expecting to see. Virtuo has been completely locked ever since he's entered the loser bracket.
Yeah. Virtuo, the Night Owl here at GDEX, seeming to gain strength as the hours go on and the night gets darker. As the other players kind of falter, the fatigue's getting to them. They're starting to make more mistakes, losing some pace, but Virtuo is holding a very, very good lead. So it'll be interesting to see where we go from here as we move into the next map, which is going to be Takamura.
Takamura.
So we're going to start off here. Dummy following a little bit of behind. We're going to maintain some good speed as we go up and around and into the drift here. Virtuo is going to be out in 4th place, while Jampee is going to be out in front. Jampee going a little wide, and it's going to be a very close 4-wide pack here. They're going to battle it out neck and neck, trading places back and forth. Jampee coming out with that lead. I guess we'll have to see Jampee, is that inside line really going to be that much? Is it really going to give him that much of a lead? And it seems like it will, at least enough to put some space between him and Dummy. Random following Dummy and Virtuo following Random as they go into the end section here. Very precarious, and we have a mistake from Random. It's going to be Jampee, Dummy, Virtuo, and Random. Random with an unfortunate mistake at the end. Really falling behind here in these first 2 rounds, unfortunately. And Virtuo, Jampee's going to catch up a little bit to Virtuo, bring it to a 1 point difference.
And 1 point is definitely as close as it gets without being equal. I mean, literally. So now, here we go. Virtuo, a little bit feeling the spirit of Jampee on his back, going to have to try and ignore it as much as possible, and yet Virtuo, the mental games getting the better at Jampee, as now he falls at the back of the pack. Not as far back as you would hope if you're a Virtuo fan, but definitely not where you want to be if you're Jampee right now. Random and Dummy are currently wheel-to-wheel going through this map right now into the grass section. Gonna have to break tap. Let's see if anyone goes for the inside. No, Jampee
with that inside line. Gonna bring it back.
A little bit less speed, but you are drifting here. And
and a mistake from Virtuo.
Clips very hard right there. Going to have to chalk it for this round as Dummy gets a lot of speed into this ending, overtaking Random in the last corner.
Some money moves from Dummy here.
Yeah, definitely.
Kind of climbing back towards Virtuo and Jampee, both with big mistakes. That's going to bring it even closer. And Random also getting a decent points preparation as well.
If you're Random right now, you're a little disappointed. I mean, you had the lead in the last checkpoint, and you're currently last place. You need to try and get these P1s whenever you can. Those 3 points may not seem like a lot, but they definitely are. I mean, Virtuo and Jampee are now back to being tied due to Virtuo's unfortunate mistake as well, putting him P3. So now, here we go, 1 and 2.
And I think to look at the kind of the opposite side of that, Random can also capitalize from potential fighting. These other players pushing to really, oust each other. And in that fighting, we see mistakes. We see, clips, releases, all that. And I think Random can potentially capitalize on that. Moving into 2nd place here, but Jampee's going to hold that inside line. Just such a lead gainer for Jampee here. Random's going to follow close behind, trying to get good speed out of that drift. A mistake from Dummy is going to put him in 4th place, potentially out. Jampee is going to be out in front with a solid lead. Random going into the end here. Random gets a bad end. He's going to lose it to Virtuo. Jampee is going to take 1st place, and Virtuo is going to snipe back 2nd with Random in 3rd and Dummy in 4th. This is definitely some good fighting here, what we want to see from our later stages of this tournament.
1000% what you want to see, but between Jampee and Virtuo, this is extraordinarily a good performance from both of them right now. They are putting up some crazy times considering the high stakes. I mean, this is it, folks. If you're out, you're out. You have to sit and watch your friends play on the main stage, and you don't want to be that guy who came in 5th and had to watch in the audience. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Into the bug slide, and Random risks it just a little bit too much as Virtuo and Jampee get into the mix. Dummy somewhere made a mistake, put himself out of the running. Virtuo now clawing his way back, trying to get onto Jampee, slowly but surely making ground. Jampee is going to have to send it just a little bit more if he wants to keep this gap, and yes he will. His inside line is proven to be just that tad bit faster, and just a tad bit faster is all you need to secure the P1 in this situation. Virtuo sending the drift as much as he can. I don't think it'll be enough for Jampee to even get close to the front of this bumper. Jampee just needs to keep it clean in the last section of the map. Virtuo right there with them. Jampee keeps it clean in the last section.
Good showing from Jampee here. Getting, you know, some of the jitters out from the start and really making a good push to overtake Virtuo here on Takamura. That's going to put Jampee up 61 points with Virtuo in 55.
Yeah, I mean, good job there from Jampee. Those Virtuo and Jampee were trading back and forth throughout that entire map, but Jampee finally, he put his foot down and said, I've had enough of this, and got 2 P1s in a row, I believe. So good job there from Jampee, but it's definitely still close. Every player is in the running to get P1 here. And remember, P1 here is more than just going next. You get pick and bans for the grand final, and it is point limit increased from 120 to 140. Correct me if I'm wrong. So
I believe you're correct.
Definitely, you're playing more than just Pride right now. And
we're starting up here on Chimera. Definitely our most chaotic map, I would say. I mean, all the maps are pretty cooked, but this one I think has taken the most lives of our competitors, seeing the most mistakes.
Jampee,
as we have Virtuo, Dummy, and Random very close in first place, but Jampee falling behind, and then we have Dummy falling behind a little bit as well. Virtuo and Random are going to fight it out for first place, pretty close, just a car length between each other as they go into this uphill here. Going to jump, seeing who can get a better jump. It's going to be Random who comes out, but Virtuo goes a little more inside. Random's going to have better speed. They're trading places like crazy. Random with a mistake here. Virtuo is going to hold that lead, but Dummy is crawling back. Dummy crawling back, trying to take Virtuo, trying to grab some points back. Seems like Virtuo is holding that lead pretty well, but some gear shenanigans on this uphill.
A little bit more speed into the ending. Will it be enough? No.
Dummy not quite able to make it back. Virtuo holding that lead, but Jampee.
Oh, Random.
Oh, and Random sniping Jampee at the very end. You know, pretty small points difference here, but at this stage, every point matters.
Every point matters, especially if you are Jampee and Virtuo right now. I mean,
absolutely.
You need to keep it together at Jampee. I mean, falling into P2, back in this 1-point situation, they have literally been trading every single round that they can. It is starting to get a little bit ridiculous. One of you guys need to put the pedal to the metal, try and find the pace you're missing to your competitors, and full send it. No players making a mistake in the start of the map here. The start of the map has been especially difficult for some of our previous rounds, so nice to see that we are getting into the prestigious stages of the next few rounds. Jampee onto a monstrous lead and getting a little bit of a slowdown in the uphill, but I don't think it'll matter that much. Random trying to claw his way back, currently P3 right now. Dummy currently sitting there. Dummy needs to start getting some more points if he wants to qualify his way onto the main stage. As Random clips his front left tire, and Dummy is currently clawing his way through Virtuo, going to try and send it as much as he can, and Jampee clips as well.
With a mistake. Virtuo gonna look to take that first place spot, just barely missing, going off the edge of that ramp up. What a crazy end here. Triple mistakes from Random, and then Dummy, and then Jampee, with Virtuo taking that first place spot, and that's going to give him a pretty good lead here. What was 1 point now goes into, the math is not mathing, a 7-point lead.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is officially past midnight here in Columbus, so we are a little bit fatigued. We are a little bit
these Columbus nights.
Columbus nights, as Jampee unfortunately makes a mistake in the start of the map, and as I've said before, the start of this map is deceivingly difficult. That large, winding outside dirt that you need to make sure you keep it as tight as you can to the wall without touching, which is obviously easier said than done. We are 1, 2, 3. Random Dummy making an unfortunate mistake there, going to have to respawn and regain his bearings there, as Virtuo needs to get this P1 as Random, honestly.
Oh, but Virtuo with a good line.
Virtuo with a great
losing
line.
some of the speed.
Random going to have to full send this because he is
another
not
good line
safe
from
Virtuo.
Random making a mistake here. Virtuo is going to sneak away with another first place. In the end here, Random able to maintain second place over Jampee and Dummy.
And this is more than just a first place for Virtuo. Yes, the points are nice, but this is increasing your gap to Jampee as he is P3, which
Yeah.
is extraordinaire if you're a Virtuo fan.
Virtuo, the Night Owl, keeps striking, seeming to get away with these good wins as we go into these late hours of the night. In our next round on Chimera, we're going to be a tight 4-wide pack here, all within a car lengths of each other. Going into this jump, very tricky. Try not to make mistakes here, getting a good jump, good landing. Random and Jampee going to extend that lead, but Dummy's going to bring back the pace a little bit, and Virtuo is going to sit back and forth, waiting to strike yet again. Random out in front, but Dummy bringing it back. They're going to go neck and neck. Random's going to bob and weave a little bit and give Dummy that lead, and it's going to clip as well. But Jampee is going to sneak behind and look to take that first place spot. Jampee's going to hold the lead out here over Dummy and Virtuo. As we go to the end here, it's going to be close, and it's going to be Jampee, Dummy, Virtuo, and Random into the end here.
Dummy, unfortunately, trying to send it a little bit too far inside, gets that tiny bit of a slowdown, which when you're hunting TA, it's only about, I don't know, 5/100ths of a second. But when 5/100th of a second matter, you can't afford to be taking those unfortunate lines.
Absolutely.
But still, amazing showing from everyone there. We are still in the prime time of this match. There is no clear decided winner. Virtuo with 89, Jampee with 82, Dummy with 69, and Random with 48, which, if you're a Random fan right now, this would be the time. Random is extraordinarily good at Randomizer's map, which is actually up next. So you need to keep your eyes on the boy, on Halcyon. So make sure
we're looking to get
a
a good fight between Virtuo and Jampee here to decide who is going to go first and second. I mean, I guess if they get first and second, they're going to go up anyway. But we could see Dummy and potentially Random fight back and try to contest that as we go into Nozomi here. The next round, Virtuo is going to take a bit of a lead, go outside, carrying that speed. Jampee is going to go inside. Virtuo with that speed, having to release a little bit, going back out into our plastic turn here. Only a car length separates all 4 contestants. However, it seems like Virtuo is going to fall behind a little bit, and Jampee is going to pull away at the lead. Dummy hunting close behind, trying to take it back. Dummy is going to fight with Virtuo up front, with Jampee up front, excuse me.
Dummy with an extraordinarily line.
Yeah, but Jampee is able to maintain that speed. Very good. A little clip from Dummy here, losing a bit of pace behind Jampee, but we could see mistakes here in the end that could jeopardize that.
Good job, Jampee.
I guess we won't, but Jampee is going to take the first place here with Dummy in second, and Random in third, and Virtuo
As I said
fourth.
before, when Virtuo was P1 and Jampee was P3, all you need to do is look to increase your lead, and since those players are so close, now it is literally 92 to 92. It could not get closer between them if you wanted to. So we're going to see who will be the one to break the 100-point margin between the 2 players. And I believe Random has made an unfortunate mistake, an unfortunate clip somewhere in the backfield of the map as Virtuo is trying to claw his way back between Dummy and Jampee, going to fend some points and get some for himself, and more importantly, away from Jampee, because that is his #1 nemesis right now. He needs to make sure that Jampee is not getting points. If Virtuo has a bad round, Jampee needs to have one as well, or else they're going to be in a bit of a situation as Dummy going to try and full send. Let's see this Dummy line against Jampee. He sends it really far inside. It won't pay off this time. It won't pay off this time, but he did clip just a little bit, and it was equal. So I believe that line is actually a tad bit faster. Virtuo, every player getting the finish clean. We're past the clipping stages now as Random brings up the rear, getting those 3 points secured for himself. And congratulations to Mr. Jampee for breaking the 100-point margin here in the lower bracket final.
Yep, it's a big first place for Jampee here. Gonna make a big difference in his battle over Virtuo as we go into the next round. All 4 getting the start clean. Seems like Random's gonna fall behind a little bit. Virtuo's gonna try to sneak behind, going into our downhill dirt into this plastic water section. We have Jampee making a mistake. Virtuo and Dummy are going to fight for first place now with Jampee out behind. Not too far behind, but just enough to make it hurt. Dummy is going to take a considerable lead over Virtuo, and Random is going to start clawing back at Virtuo as well. Going up into second place, fighting back and forth. Virtuo is going to take it back. as they go into this water section here with the slide. Dummy with a considerable lead, looking to hold that going into the end. Random not able to snap out of it that well, but still enough to at least try to get back at Virtuo. Dummy going into the finish here, makes it clean.
Random!
Oh my God!
Random snipes Virtuo in the last second of the map.
Virtuo! Oh my God. Look at that.
Good job, Random, there. You need those points right now if you're Random.
Second.
And now, Virtuo has also broken the 100-point barrier. We have not a lot of racing left to go in this match, and it is beginning to heat up in the most vital points. On board with Random right now, going to try and keep that momentum going. All eyes on Random after that snipe. That was insanely beautiful. Between the pack right now, Virtuo, a lot of speed into this outside section. Gonna have to release just a little bit on equal pace with Random right now. Gonna see who gets the most airtime out of this. Jampee gaining a lot of speed compared to Dummy into the large drift. Gonna see who can keep the most speed into this plastic section, who dares to risk it the most of this water. Who dares to do it? Jampee does. Jampee goes a little bit wide, keeps the skid marks together. Dummy trying to abuse his line, gains a little bit, doesn't have a lot of speed, clips the outside wall, and Random needs to try and pull ahead of Jampee if he wants these points right now. Jampee's gonna have to mess up the finish. Will he do it? No, he doesn't.
It was close. I saw, didn't get quite all the way upside down. Unfortunate clip from Dummy there. I was hoping we were kind of starting to see a second win. You know, definitely still not untrue, but it's going to be unfortunate for Dummy there. As we have Jampee with 115 points going into the next map, definitely looking to close it out here over Virtuo.
Yeah, 115 means you only need second place. You don't even need the P1 to secure yourself that big red F. We've been glorifying this entire night. Virtuo is at 104, meaning he needs to win 2 in a row to get that big red F. Dummy at 96 and Random at 69, so definitely a close match here. Random, surprisingly, I actually don't even think he's out of the running here based on the map we have up next. We have everyone's favorite, Arasaka, which is known for being consistently fun.
Yeah, definitely. All the maps have been interesting, but this one has been quite the show in terms of putting on good performances here. As we go into our first round in Arasaka, Random's going to take the lead up front, but they're going to remain 4 wide. Jampee is going to slightly take over Random here, with Virtuo falling behind a little bit. Going into the water section here. Less than a car length between all 4 competitors here as they go around. Dummy and Jampee taking a good lead, with Random hunting for that second place spot, and Virtuo in 4th. Going into the plastic sausage here, coming around the corner onto the reactor. We're going to see a myriad of different lines here. Dummy's going to fall back into 3rd place, and Jampee's going to maintain that first, but Random is hunting for that second place.
Dummy.
A mistake from Dummy here is going to bring him to 4th place here. Jampee's going to hold that lead. Random right behind him, looking for a mistake here. Jampee makes a mistake, and Random overtakes Virtuo in 2nd, Dummy in 3rd, and Jampee is not going to... Well,
and now, all of a sudden, ladies and gentlemen,
Jampee does get the finish, but that's got to be a tough one.
If both players finish now, they are both finalists if they get the correct position. So this is not the situation you want to be in. Virtuo needs P1. Jampee just needs to finish. Dummy.
Yeah. Lucky for Jampee that round is it was Random who took that first place and not Virtuo, because that could have been a lot worse.
That would have been unfortunate. Dummy, congratulations on breaking the 100-point barrier. Welcome to the club. As we are on board with Jampee right now as he clips just a little bit outside. Getting not a lot of speed in this engine off section, going to lose a lot more time than he bargained for. Virtuo going very inside in this drift. Random and Dummy going to overtake him just a little bit, and Virtuo goes really wide in this reactor section, going to capitalize on all the speed, but will have to overcorrect in the grass section as Random, Dummy, and Virtuo are 1, 2, 3 right now. Jampee actually still kind of in the running. Never mind. Random and Dummy are 1 and 2.
Oh, Dummy with a good overtake.
As Random unfortunately makes a bad mistake there. Virtuo's
hunting.
A lot of speed into this last section.
The Night Owl is poised to strike.
The Night Owl is here.
Can he do it?
Section.
Can he do it?
Yes, he does!
Virtuo's gonna snipe Dummy. Oh my God. Wow, what a round.
Congratulations,
what
Virtuo. You
Jampee,
are now finalist.
Jampee still finishing and is gonna put Jampee into our finalist spot, but what a round here. What a finish. What a finish. We have a double finalist, Virtuo and Jampee, double finalists on Arasaka as we go into the next round. We start out here, Virtuo and Jampee looking to close it out and secure their spots for the grand final. As we go into this outside dirt, Jampee is gonna make a mistake. And then Random is going to make a mistake. Dummy's going to hold that lead, trying to deny Virtuo the first place.
All eyes
Virtuo
on Dummy right now.
Slipping a little bit.
You need to make sure that Dummy keeps this lead if you want to keep the match going. Dummy.
Virtuo with good speed.
Still needs all of that. Still needs a lot more points if he wants to make sure he's finalist into the next map, as Virtuo has a little bit more speed. Dummy has been struggling with this section all night, but he finally gets it clean. And the part where it matters, as Jampee is crawling right behind Virtuo right now. Dummy needs to make sure he can just safe this ending. He has the time, he has the speed. Jampee
crawling
Virtuo.
back.
Dummy, does he get it?
Does he get it?
Yes,
Dummy will get it. He will deny. He will deny Jampee
Dummy.
Virtuo from taking the finalist spot, and that'll give Dummy 10 points, putting him only 3 points from joining these finalists here. We'll see if Dummy can keep doing this and potentially jump into a finalist spot himself and make it to the grand final. And Random's also here.
Be nice to Random. Random is definitely in the running to also deny. I am not putting him out of this
Absolutely,
race.
he can definitely deny, but he's got some work to do if he wants to get to that finalist spot.
On board. This outside dirt has been giving Jampee problems all night, and finally he gets it and has a monstrous lead. Here we go.
Virtuo looking to make a move, but is still kind of sitting here behind. Can Dummy or Random deny yet again? Dummy just needs a finish, and he is in that finalist spot. Will he do it over Jampee and Virtuo?
Remember, Dummy needs to overtake if he wants to keep the first slot open. Just needs to get ahead of Jampee, or Jampee needs to make an unfortunate mistake as Virtuo claws as his way in front of Random. Random keeps
Random
all
getting
the
good
speed. Jampee, all eyes on Jampee.
So going to the end here. Jampee's going to finish it.
Jampee, you have secured your spot into the grand final. You can rest easy for now. You have about a 5-minute break.
Congratulations, Jampee. Virtuo looking to defend from our new finalist, Dummy. Random looking to deny both of them and kind of gather up that points lead as you go into the next map.
The next map is going to definitely be the last map, if I had to predict. I would be insanely surprised if Random goes on a 4-point winning or 4-round winning streak, as we are on back where we started. We were on Cassia, which I believe Dummy actually had some problems on last I remember. So, and Virtuo, this is where Virtuo gained his big lead with Jampee there. That's where the brawl began. So all eyes on Dummy right now. Needs to make sure not only to deny Virtuo and stop the loser bracket menace, but give himself his ticket into the grand final and get himself a spot on the big stage we have sitting right here behind us. All eyes on Dummy for now. Random currently P1 right now.
Yeah, Random looking to
honestly
fight away those spots. But Random making a mistake.
If I'm Random,
and it's going to be a battle between the finalists.
This will be the last round of the match, unless something catastrophic happens, but I am not putting that on anyone as Dummy.
Oh, Virtuo not with great speed.
Out of this. Gets a little bit of airtime, gonna have a little bit of an awkward line.
Dummy with a mistake.
The wall.
Not out too far, but Virtuo's gonna keep that lead.
Dummy
fighting neck and neck here.
The race.
Look at him go. Oh, Dummy with a mistake.
Wheel.
Virtuo with the lead. Virtuo just has to hold it. Virtuo.
Can he do it?
And Virtuo will be the second person to go up into the grand final.
Congratulations,
Unfortunate break
Virtuo.
for Dummy here.
Heartbreaking defeat for Dummy, but congratulations, Virtuo. You have secured your ticket into the grand final. We are going to, we're going to get set up here.
Yeah.
We have the large grand stage behind us, as you can see.
Yes, we will be upgrading to the stage, and I will be upgrading into randomize. So
yeah, that's
this will be it for me.
That's how that works.
Thank you all for watching.
Yeah,
and thank you, Helix, for being an awesome impromptu co-caster.
Yep.
As we seek to help randomize ease his stress. But he will be hopping back in because he's the professional, so I'll leave it to him.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to take a small break here. We're going to get our players situated on the big grand stage. We're going to get the camera situated. We're going to get the broadcast situated. But please stay tuned. This is the last match of the night. I know it's late where you are. It's late where we are. But I promise you this is not one you want to miss. Please stay tuned.
Get some popcorn and snuggle up in bed as you watch this. Get comfortable because it is going to be a battle.
We will be right back.
Ladies and gentlemen and all binary friends, we are here finally at the grand finals of GDEX 2025. We started at 10 a.m. We started at 11 a.m. with a big issue in the morning, but we are here. It is almost 1 a.m. and we are finally getting into the grand finals. Helix, you've been casting for majority of it. Thank you very much. Between you and Quilo jumping in and helping me out as I panic in the background as normal. But thank you very much for taking over for that. Yeah. Now, we have a grand finals coming up. You watch 2 of them. Do you have any thought process going into this? I mean, Nix and Flimsy have been sitting back for 2 rounds now.
Yep. While
we have 2 others that we may or may not have expected to be here. Do you have any thought process going into it?
I think the favorite to win this, I feel like the favorite is Nix, just due to the fact that Nix is extraordinarily practiced and he has the resume to back up his achievements. So, but I also know that in the Twitch chat today we have a plethora of Jampee fans. So definitely going to be excited to see what Jampee could do in his highlighter green car. But yeah, I'm a big Nix fan today. I think he'll be the favorite.
Yeah. So we currently have a pick ban going on, or pick, I guess, is what we're really doing. Yeah, so we are allowing in the grand finals, we're having the players pick the map order. Nixotica already did get his first pick in. Arasaka is going to be his pick. Cassia will be Flimsy's pick. So Jampee is going to take Takamura, excuse me, and Virtuo, coming in as second place in the lower bracket, is going to be the last pick. So Chimera and then Nozomi. My map is the last one. You guys did it to yourself, but just putting it that way. So with that being said, we are going to be underway momentarily when it comes to the grand finals. I hope you're excited for this because I know I'm excited for this. Audience, I know you can hear me back there. Are you guys excited for the grand finals of GDEX? There we go. We have the audience in here. I want you guys to be loud and proud through the entire match as we are going to be getting started momentarily. And again, we have Flimsy, Nixotica, Virtuo, and Jampee. Flimsy, Nixotica. Nixotica came in as the first seed from the upper bracket, being able to take on the big name Flimsy that a lot of people have been predicting to win this entire event. I mean, it's kind of been going back and forth. A lot of people have been Nixotica, a lot of people have been Flimsy.
Yeah.
I mean, Virtuo and Jampee weren't really in the conversation too much, but no. I would say Virtuo is a little bit more of a surprise, the underdog story, while Jampee, I would say, we're not surprised to see him here.
I mean, Virtuo went on a complete tear through the loser bracket ever since the beginning, and then Jampee just slowly but surely found his footing. He found his way through the laps one by one. He got all the points he needed, and through it all, he emerged on the grand stage here in Columbus, Ohio. So very excited to see the lineup we have here today as we go into round number 1.
All right. We are officially starting the grand finals of GDEX 2025. Starting this off with Flimsy as we start with Nixotica's pick, Arasaka. And Nixotica already starting up in front.
As you said, Nixotica already in front as Flimsy makes an unfortunate mistake in the first round. Going to go ahead and get those out of the way while you can, while you're not in the big finalist mode, as Jampee makes a similar mistake, clipping his right side tires right before the reactor up section, as Flimsy makes another unfortunate mistake. having to double respawn there, which is about as awkward as it gets, is Virtuo trying to secure this P2 position, which is already more than done. Just going to go ahead and safe it out as we make sure Nixotica can get everything done and over with and all the way through to the finish, which we have experienced in the best of ways and the worst of ways as he does it with a 53-4 in the first round.
And I do want to say, this is the grand finals.
This is the grand finals, ladies and
It is
gentlemen.
also the grand finals at 1 a.m. This is not normally our time to compete. I think these players are used to starting matches at 8 a.m. because of a lot of European tournaments. I didn't think they were ready to play at Oceania times. So apologies to them, but we are going to be toughening it out. I mean, again, we've been here for over 12 hours competing, and these players are being such troopers about this one. Moving into round number 2, Nixotica had a few rounds where he almost looked like he was going to have a perfect match towards the beginning of the top 16. And right now, the way it started off, we could potentially see Nixotica get a perfect sweep on his map pick, as Flimsy is going to be the one contesting Nixotica as we go through the plastic section, getting close to the end. The dirt can be a little tricky. Nicely done by Nixotica. Again, our cameras are possessed, so we do apologize that it keeps randomly switching to the first place person as we come into the final moment. Flimsy is going to be flailing, somehow surviving that one. And it looks like Virtuo got sniped by Jampee as well. So that is going to get Flimsy on the board, ironically. He did DNF last round, so he went from 0 to 10. It's almost like he wanted to give Nixotica the start.
Oh, yeah. I mean, obviously, if you're Flimsy, I would hope that's not what we're after, but as Jampee is going to try and claw his way through the standings here as Nixotica makes an unfortunate mistake. I just want to remind the audience here and after that we have Flimsy and Nixotica in the same lobby, and in terms of median, Nix is actually faster than Flimsy on almost every single map except one in terms of average pace. So that is something to look out for, as Flimsy is off to an unfortunate start through this winding plastic section. Virtuo trying to make some ground, get closer to Jampee, and make sure he can revitalize his stat line if either one of these players makes an unfortunate error, as Flimsy and Jampee cut it very close, pre-drifting the last turn, as Jampee makes an unfortunate mistake, letting Virtuo pass all the way through into P2. Gets it the second time. Nixotica too far back to capitalize. And unfortunately, Jampee is going to be missing out on some vital points here at the beginning of the game.
Yeah, and I got to say, that is why this ending is such a curse. I mean, how many times do you think you're in the clear, and it's almost like you wish that finish line was just a couple pixels over, but unfortunately, it's where it is. Everything is on grid, so it just seems to be a little bit of a rough area. And it's funny how you bring that one up. I personally am not 100% sure on which map Flimsy is better, but consistency is very important here in cup mode. Yes, you want to have faster times, but the time doesn't matter as long as you're up in first place. And speaking of first place, is Flimsy up in front right now with Nixotica and Jampee screaming right behind them. Virtuo a little bit far out of this contention in this fight, as Jampee is now able to take the lead. Nixotica looking to follow. Flimsy falling farther and farther back. The lines are just not working for him in that plastic part. Jampee getting really close to that wall, able to take some good speed. Nixotica is going to try to go for the snipe, and so did Flimsy, but it did not work out for him. Again, just a couple pixels over that goal would have been. It would have been perfect, but unfortunately didn't work out for him. So Flimsy from P1 to P3 in just a few blocks. That is a little bit of a rough moment for him, but the scores are relatively close. The only person who is away right now is Nixotica. Nixotica up at 30, but everyone is within 10 points, so it's still an arm's length. It's not too bad as we're going to be moving on to Cassia.
Oh yeah, I mean, I would just like to point out that this is actually the map that Flimsy is faster than Nixotica on in terms of median.
There it is.
So this is perfect timing for the map to show up, and maybe, I'm pretty sure that Flimsy actually picked this map.
Yes.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but
You were correct.
Remember, the stat line here is Nixotica 30, Virtuo 20, Jampee 22, Flimsy 21. So this is currently anybody's game. Nix could have a few bad rounds. Jampee could have a few amazing rounds. But make sure you keep your eyes on this at all costs, because anything can happen at any time, no matter where you are in this map. This is the scariest map, in my opinion, over the Kyle map. As we go on board with Virtuo, slowly but surely getting past Flimsy there and having a little bit of a bad start in terms of where you want to be. As Jampee and Nix are currently battling for P1. Both have discovered this inside line actually ending up being faster than what the mapper intended.
You know what's really funny about that is that when these maps first came out, the first thought I had in my head was Nixotica was going to go that inside line. I don't think whenever you put a hole in the map, Nixotica will always go on the inside line. You could put anything there, and he'll still somehow squeeze on through to the inside line. And speaking of squeezing through, Nixotica is just flying ahead. Jampee making a mistake, and Virtuo may look to capitalize on this one. Flimsy, unfortunately, way out of this fight. So Virtuo, Jampee makes a big mistake. Flimsy is the one who's going to be taking that one, and Jampee just threw away one extra point. But right now, with how tight these scores are, you cannot give up even one extra point.
I mean, yeah, Jampee has made 2 unfortunate errors near the finish line. I am thinking he's starting to check out near the ending of the maps, which is obviously not what you want to do if you're Jampee right now, but he is still tied with Flimsy. He's still very close to Virtuo. It's not the end of the world, but what could be the end of the world is Nixotica slowly but surely pulling away further and further where everyone else is battling each other, while Nix just gets to walk away with the prize. So need to make sure you are keeping the man in the purple car on his toes as Flimsy decides it's time to challenge him, and Nixotica clips his back right wheel and his front left tire, letting Jampee and Virtuo pass slowly but surely, as Virtuo has a little bit of bad exit speed, letting Nix crawl his way back to the standing as Jampee has to release just a little bit. Nixotica full sending outside, trying to catch Flimsy now as Jampee finds a way to throw himself off the map, clipping his front tires there. Virtuo trying to get past Nixotica here, but Nixotica has more speed into this ending. Flimsy, now scot-free, just needs to not miss the finish.
Oh, wait a minute.
Wait a minute. No, we're good.
Okay. Yeah, you mentioned scot-free, and I was like, no way did you just cast a curse right there on the spot.
I would never cast or curse anyone.
I did too many times. I swear this year is the year of cursed finish lines, unfortunately. So, like, we have a triangle, we have a bumper, we have whatever the heck finish I made. I don't even know what I did. I wasn't even supposed to be in the map. I just accidentally left it in the map, and then it got accepted. So, not my fault. Blame Halcyon for that one. Speaking of Halcyon, Flimsy up in front, wrapping the Halcyon car and battling alongside with Jampee and Nixotica. Unfortunately, Virtuo fallen pretty far behind, so he's going to be pretty much out of this fight unless any mistake happens from the 3 boys up in front. Nixotica with the best line, Flimsy right behind. It's going to be neck and neck for Nixotica, and Flimsy outside dirt can be a little dangerous. There it is. Nixotica is going to end up touching that one, so it's a pretty free run right now for Flimsy. But again, we have seen cursed ends left and right. Virtuo trying to fight his way into P3, while Nixotica losing more and more speed. Even Jampee gets into the fight. Nix goes from fighting for first or fighting for second between 2 other players, looking to get the inside.
Oh, Jampee.
Oh, Jampee went to go for the risky line. It was worth it. It is one of those moments you need to do it, especially because Jampee right now is falling way behind points-wise.
Yep. Nobody mad at Jampee for that unfortunate error, but he is currently sitting P4 in terms of points right now, so he needs to start letting these risks actually go through. These chances he's taking are not the most what's the word, randomized?
I don't know, you lost me. It's 1 a.m., man. I'm surprised we're still casting right now, but yeah, unfortunately for Jampee, like, you know, he's taking big risks because he has to. He's the farthest one, so it's either go big or go home at this moment, and Jampee is looking to not let that happen. He's not far behind. Virtuo at 38, Jampee at 31, but Nixotica making more and more mistakes in the back. Nerves are kicking in as Virtuo is also pretty far from the pack. Jampee and Flimsy are going to be the ones battling up in front. These 2 players, we've seen them make mistakes, but somehow still find their way to the final.
as Jampee is slowly but surely getting further away from Flimsy. Flimsy just needs to make sure he keeps it together in these last 2 turns. I would be more than happy with a P2 against Jampee right now. You have the time, you have the space. New best time from Jampee. His full risk paid off that round, but the others did not, meaning he's still P4 in total points. But definitely, if there was an award for best time, I feel like Jampee would be getting that one and walking away with that on this map.
Yeah, Jampee is definitely one of those players that can just put out these insane times on all the maps. And it's just one of those moments where, like, good, you can get a good round and now get good 4 rounds in a row. That's what we would love to see out of Jampee. And that's one of the things, you know, we talk about all these players and all their skills and all the things they can do. But if we really think about it, Nixotica's the veteran here. Yeah. You know, Virtuo, Jampee, like, they're both pretty young in this. Flimsy's been around for a little bit, but I would say from 2024 into 2025, Flimsy has really just kind of spread his wings and started to take off. And, like, you know, I even told Flimsy at the beginning of this year, I didn't even know who you were at this point because, like, you just came out of nowhere and just started dominating the competition. And that's exactly what Flimsy's looking to do going into this one as well. And it's so you have the veteran who knows how to handle this kind of pressure, and you have 3 young bloods all coming in trying to, you know, make a name for themselves here at GDEX 2025.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But I would also like to point out that somehow it has flown under the radar. The Nix has actually lost that commanding lead we mentioned many times in the first map, and now only being reduced to, honestly, a bad round from Nix could put him back in P2, maybe even P3 if Virtuo is the one dethroning him. I mean, Flimsy's right there as well. You can definitely not count on your lead being the major thing going to bring you through this. You need to find a way to get that back. But right now, sitting P3 with Flimsy and Jampee ahead of you, you can't do that this round. Jampee falling a little bit further behind, and Nixotica passes him in the last section of the map.
The Virtual was right there too. It was one of the scary moments where Jampee just ever so slightly tagged the wall. This map is all about tagging walls and tagging corners. It's, you know, any other map you can kind of crash into something, you're pretty much out. This map just punishes you by slowing you down. It's so unfortunate, all the little things that could just pretty much just let your dreams escape you because you're still moving forward, but not in the way you would like to. So unfortunately, that mistake happened, but hopefully all the players will be able to bounce back. Virtuo, again, fighting from the back end, always seems to have a little bit of the worst start of the 4, but somehow keeps finding his way back into the fight. And we shall say that Flimsy has taken the lead, 62 to 61. We did mention that the points were just about an arm's length. And look at that, Flimsy closed his arms and brought Nixotica back into the competition.
And yeah, I'd like to point out that right now we have like 2 different separate, not skill groups, but point groupings, with Virtuo and Jampee being 45-45 and Nix and Flimsy being in the low 60s. As we go into the finish line, wide as Nixotica gets out first place. Jampee barely inching his way out in front of Flimsy in the last sector of the map. Very impressive from all the players there. Nix for keeping his lead.
I mean, that was 3 players all within 0.1 second.
Absurd.
That is a grand final round. Let's see if we can get more of those. But yeah, Nixotica taking the lead between him and Flimsy, and Jampee starting to try to break away from Virtuo. Now, of course, you want to get that first place. We are playing for 3 winners, and it is up to 140 points instead of 120 points. This is the grand finals. It doesn't matter if it's at 1 a.m. or 5 a.m. We're making these boys make work for that championship, and right now we are seeing some work happening as Jampee, who is currently in 3rd place in points-wise, is a contender up in front. Nixotica trying to join the pack as well, but Flimsy just barely holding on to that lead. Coming into that dirt line, this is where things start to get a little scary. You can tag multiple walls and corners, but nicely done by everyone. Flimsy is able to stay really tight on that inside, and a good time, 53.6. These guys are starting to break out all the wild cards.
I mean, yeah, 53.6 is very fast for rounds pace. I mean, me personally, myself, wouldn't even dream of challenging that. And I think some of these players are like, okay, well, now I know what you can do. Yeah. So I'm just going to drive a consistent pace because these players are practiced enough. They have the ability to just say, okay, you drove that, let me try this.
I mean, Helix, there's a reason why we're here in the caster booth and they're playing.
That is on board with Flimsy right now in P2. Going to try and keep as much speed as he can to this bug slide and make sure he gets a good exit into this dirt section. Nix finally pulling away after the bug slide section, gets the best exit out of the 4 people here. Jampee slowly inching on Nixotica's back bumper. Going to try and get a little bit more speed to this grass section. Let's see if Jampee's inside line will finally pay off here. All eyes on Jampee right now on the bright white and green car, and yes it does, into this drift. Slowly getting ahead. Nixotica with a little bit more speed, gonna have to come down to the last few corners. Nix a little bit more outside. Jampee, both players going as close as they can to the wall. Nix, not enough time, not enough speed. Jampee inches it out and takes P1 for that round.
That's gonna be huge for Jampee to try to get away from Virtuo as well as get closer to Flimsy and Nixotica. Nixotica does take the lead at 82 points to 80, while Jampee, with a nice number, taking up to 69 points. Virtuo is starting to fall behind. We saw that map definitely was not a map for Virtuo. Hopefully we'll be able to see some work coming out from Virtuo as we move on to our next map, and that is going to be Virtuo's pick, which is Chimera, or I don't know what you guys were calling it, but
it's a Chimera.
Chimera, I don't know.
Pronunciation.
I'm just guessing what the Brazilian thought when he named his map.
Yeah.
You know, Kyle is from Brazil, so I would imagine
Kyle.
Chimera, you know, something like that. I only know one word in Brazil, and it's a curse word, so I can't say it on stream. But anyway, here we go into the 4th map, and it's still as tight as ever. We're going to hop on board with Virtuo as this is his map pick.
Here we go. Flimsy finally taking, not finally, well I would say taking the lead, but as he falls back into that unfortunate clip, Nixotica will be the one taking the lead. Virtuo right behind him, not safe yet. Going to have to put your foot on the floor, pedal to the metal, as Nixotica is going to keep his mental together, keep his car together into this long winding jump. Make sure you keep your gearbox good here into this downhill plastic. Make sure all the speed is kept. Nixotica doing a better job than Virtuo in this weird dirt section, keeping all the speed you can. Virtuo almost clipping there, is fully sending it into these last few corners. Nixotica has practiced this many, many times, has a little bit less speed than Virtuo. He might be able to snipe here if given enough time.
Oh!
Did not have enough time, did not have enough speed. Nixotica will be P1 for this round with a 53-4.
Yeah, that part is a little scary there. I mean, there's like the perfect line to barely lose any of your speed. But Nixotica, I think, actually ended up clipping as he was going up, but it just kind of worked out for him that everyone starts to lose speed as they work up. So Nix able to run away with that one. 92 points. He's one first place away from breaking that 100-point threshold and getting ever so close to getting into finals position as we're in this 2nd round of Chimera. Jampee will be the one taking up the lead. I believe that was Nixotica that went flying off the map, unfortunately. And Jampee and Flimsy will be the ones fighting this one out. Virtuo just barely in the fight. And if any mistake comes out of the two of them, Virtuo will be able to capitalize it. Flimsy goes a little bit wide on that dirt line, making it work for them as they fall down into the ramp. Flimsy, I don't know how he did not touch the wall. Somehow surviving that one. Jampee now up in front, had a better line than Nixotica with the speed. They are pushing it, and that is exactly what you want to do. You do want to go a little bit on the wider side. That is where all that speed is. It is such a dangerous line to take, and both Jampee and Flimsy both knew they had to take that line. Both of them knew there was going to be a lot of pressure coming into theirs, but it's still not enough. Nixotica up 5 points, Flimsy at 90. Jampee not too far behind, and Virtuo still barely hanging on.
Yeah, but honestly, I would not count him out with the type of maps we have in this map pack. I would not count Virtuo out of the running here to get at least P2. But I also would like to point out that Jampee actually drove the first sub of this match here, so all eyes on Jampee. After that insane showing, he is now P4, which is honestly the Trackmania classic, as Flimsy makes an unfortunate mistake, and Nixotica face plants into the ramp as everyone is having a catastrophic run here in the ending. Jampee has found his way back into P2 somehow, as Virtuo takes his lead and is going to hold it with pride, holding it away from Jampee as he slowly but surely tries to find his footing, find his ground against Virtuo, but I don't think he has enough time to do it unless Virtuo clips.
No?
He does not.
Okay. Clean finish.
Clean finish. Not a clean everything else, though.
I mean, some of these maps, it's just going to happen where all of a sudden, it always amazes me when one person makes a mistake. It's just like it's a call and tell for everyone else to just like, all right, everybody else start flying around. One person's going to take off, everybody else breaks and falls into the ditch or something. But Nixotica, he's 1 point away from breaking that 100-point threshold. Jampee, though, he's now joining Flimsy in those 90 points. Virtuo, again, just needs a break, needs to either kick it into a higher gear or pray more mistakes come out as Flimsy is barely hanging on. Jampee slams right into the checkpoint. He's going to have to do a full reset there. And Flimsy going for that inside line, but Nixotica was a little bit higher, so it's going to allow him more speed. Flimsy had an awkward line, had to release, had to readjust that one. So that's going to be a little bit of that breather that Virtuo was looking for, and he's still not too far behind. Any mistake coming out of the two of them, never mind. He's the one that's going to make the mistake. Nixotica is going to be the one up in front. Flimsy looking to try to get more speed, but it's not going to be enough. Jampee also getting ahead of Virtuo. Unfortunately for Virtuo, again, that's going to be only 3 points, slowly but surely creeping up. But Nixotica officially breaking the 100-point threshold, sitting at that 109, and Flimsy breaking it as well at 100.
I mean, if I was Virtuo right now, I'd be incredibly frustrated because we've seen a pattern on this map when Jampee or Nixotica or Flimsy make a mistake, someone else also makes a mistake with them. But when Virtuo makes a mistake, it's like he's in his own realm right now. He's just on his own in terms of the mistake making, per se.
Yeah.
Which is incredibly frustrating as a player and honestly as a spectator sometimes too.
Yeah. Because
I feel like everyone in this room right now wants Virtuo to win. I mean, I think he might be the youngest competitor in the grand final.
Yeah, in the grand final, I don't know about just age in general with everyone. I know Dummy's still the child. Dummy told me he's 18. In my eyes, he's still 15. So don't worry about it, Dummy. Sorry, Dummy. Oh, you're 17. Okay, my bad. He's still 13 in my eyes. It's all right.
You heard it here first. Randomized bullies minors on the G.
I don't do anything. Thank you. But speaking of bullying, yeah, I bully people, and it's with maps. We're on the Zomi. This is my map featuring B-Rent with the amazing artwork that the two of us were able to pull off. And yeah, these players have expressed quite fondly how much they love my map.
Everyone loves
and
your map.
Everything in this map, including all the drifts and the finals, as Nixotica is going to demonstrate how you have to slow down a little bit here. You're going to have wet wheels, so your drifts are going to be a little funny. And then the dirt will dry them back off, and then from there it's just a simple, plastic turn, no big deal. And then a simple little barrel roll, no big deal. Okay,
simple.
Good.
In quotation marks, he says.
Simple. We had a good round in the back, but I wanted to demonstrate how amazing my mapping skills are. Anywho, Nixotica up in front again, 119 points, getting ever so closer to that finalist as we are here on the 5th map.
Here we go, on board with Virtuo for now. Let's see if he can piece together the rest of this map. I mean, he actually didn't play too bad on this last time I saw him on it, so I'm very excited to see if he can piece that puzzle together yet again. Finally put together all the part map practice he's been working on as Flimsy finally gets out right in front of him as they battled for P3 for a minute there. Virtuo slowly but surely losing just a little bit of footing more and more as we go into the battle between Jampee and Nixotica fighting for P1. If Jampee finishes this round, he will also break the 100-point barrier, and that is not a good sign. If you're a Jampee fan right now, Flimsy having a little bit more speed than Nix going into this penalty grass section, going to go a little bit wider, going to lose that little bit of time gain he actually had. Nix trying to keep his lead, has to risk it just a little bit. Not enough, less than a 1/10 of a second between the two players as Jampee brings up 3rd and Virtuo brings up 4th.
It was a 77 thousandths of a second between the two of them. And mind you, Nixotica just dropped a 52, I would say a pretty low 52 there, and that's a pretty dang good time. 52.2 and a 52.3, by the way. And I don't even think the world record. I don't even think the world record's even hit a 51 yet. But I think it is very possible to get a 51.9 on this map. But everything has to be perfect, and I would not be surprised if these guys pull it off here as we're moving on to our next round on Nozomi. A lot of pressure starting to kick in. Nixotica and Flimsy getting ever so closer to that finalist. They really want to just get that leg up. Virtuo up in P3 though. A little bit farther behind. Jampee made a mistake earlier, but still, anything can happen. There's a lot of moments at the end of this map where things can go wrong. It's just as I say that, Flimsy is going to clip the wall. Somehow still has the speed, but even the last barrel roll here can go completely wrong. You can bounce around in different ways.
Nix missed.
Wait, Nix missed. Everyone moved up one position. Nixotica, like I said, that barrel roll can just go completely wrong. I'm totally not getting dirty looks from the players. Thank God they're not looking over here. But yeah, no, just like that, you just lose it. Nixotica though, he's only 8 points away from hitting finalists.
Yeah, I mean, that red stage is where you want to be at right now, and this would be the perfect time for Nix to hit it because I believe no one else can reach it right now. So you would have 1, maybe 2 rounds of buffer all to himself to just completely send it as much as he can with no worries about being passed or crashing or losing out on points, because you can't gain any more points while you're in finalist mode. You need to make sure you're just pushing as hard as you can, make sure the guy behind you is not passing you, as Jampee brings it so close to the wall, so close to clipping, needs this P1 right now if he wants to bring himself back into the race, and he knows that as Nix face plants the reset gate as Jampee brings himself into P1. Flimsy close behind, going to have to full send it if you want this, Flimsy. Last turn of the map, last final transition. Both players get it clean as Jampee brings up P1, Flimsy P2, as Virtuo makes an unfortunate mistake, letting Nix pass him. Virtuo not yet breaking that with a 100-point margin. Heartbreaking for Virtuo fans.
Yeah, but Nixotica is officially 4 points away from hitting the finalist, so he needs third place or better to hit that finalist. So, I mean, unfortunately, the way we're seeing Virtuo perform, it's pretty guaranteed for Nixotica to be able to get finalists in this next round unless something completely goes wrong. But we are back at the top of all the maps rotation. So we are back on Nixotica's map pick. So if anything, this is where you want to be. This is a very important moment because even though he's not finalist yet, Flimsy and Jampee still have a little bit of time before they are going to be able to get finalists. So Nixotica has pretty much 2 rounds probably to buffer and get that first place trophy. Last year, he was very close to taking first place at GDEX 2024. And it was his own map that cursed him not once, but twice, and went from potentially taking first place at 24 to taking third place, losing to both Neil and PC Gamer.
Now, Nix, if you would like to redeem yourself,
didn't even say his name yet.
Now would be the time. And as I think of saying it, Nix begins to learn why you should not pick this map and why I think this is the worst map in the pack. Anyway, Flimsy, first place. Right now. Noise is not here. I bickered him all the time. Flimsy now in first place. Going to try and get himself into position to be ready to become a finalist. Remember, going to try and reduce Nixotica's buffer as much as possible. Going into the finish, all eyes on Flimsy.
But he's got the P3.
And he gets it, Jampee gets it, Nix gets it, Virtuo gets it, and finally a clean finish from everyone. 4 out of 4 got the finish first try. It's a miracle.
Yeah, but Nixotica was exactly in the position he needed to be. He needed at least third place. And ladies and gentlemen, we have our first finalist, as we potentially could have our champion of GDEX 2025, the first round of potential champions. Flimsy 2 points away from being able to also become a finalist. So Flimsy just needs to finish his round, but if I was him, I would do everything. Okay, never mind. Nixotica is just going to bump into the wall himself. So Flimsy gets that buffer round that he's definitely going to be looking for. Flimsy just needs to finish now. Jampee is the one that would really love to take that 10 points. Virtuo breaking the 100-point limit, so now it's just 40 more points to get him to finalists. I mean, who knows? We could just see so many mistakes and get a quadruple finalist. That would be a dream come true for me, but
that'd be amazing.
I don't know if it's going to happen, though.
We are nearing the dead hours of the night right here in Columbus, Ohio. It is almost 1:30 in the morning, so Flimsy going to have to just at least finish to get himself into the finalists. Jampee,
19 thousandths of a second.
Very close around there. And I would like to point out that Nix has crashed the same spot 2 times in a row now, so definitely pressure is on Nix. He, as you mentioned before, GDEX 2024, he came in 2nd place and cursed himself on his third place. He cursed himself on his own map. So now everyone in the audience, please make some noise for the double final situation at GDEX 2025.
Here we go, folks. This could be it. Flimsy and Nixotica, double finalist. Nixotica on his map pick, but 2 rounds in a row has made a mistake, and Flimsy is going to be the one up in front.
Flimsy trying to make this gap larger and larger. Nix right on his tail. Jampee going to try and get in between the mix. Remember, Jampee can deny one of these 2 players. This is not a confirmed win for either one of these. Flimsy needs to keep his composure, keep it together to the last part of the map as Jampee makes an unfortunate mistake. And now Virtuo, the hero in the blue car, needs to try and get past Flimsy. All eyes on Virtuo into the last section of the map. Flimsy just needs to hit this bumper one last time, and he never has to see it again. Can he do it? Yes, he does. Make some noise for Flimsy, your GDEX 2025 champion.
Congratulations, Flimsy, for taking first place at GDEX 2025. Once again, though, the curse has been kicking in. Nixotica was one of the first people to get finalists last year as well. So hopefully Nixotica will be able to finish it. Whether it's on his map or his map pick, the curse lives on, unfortunately, as the veteran is looking to at least take 2nd place, moving on into our next round. Virtuo up in front now. Virtuo trying to fight his way back into this match. Remember, we are playing for all 3 winners, so even though Nixotica making a mistake again, even though Virtuo is pretty far back, anything can happen when we get down to the 1v1. But it's coming down to the 2 players who are not in finalists right now. Virtuo could really benefit on those 10 points. Jampee could take 1st or 2nd place. It won't matter. He will become finalist as long as he's in one of those 2 positions. But does he want to stop Virtuo from getting any closer? It is looking like a yes. Jampee now is also going to be joining the finalists. We have, again, another double finalist. The curse may live on, and we are hoping maybe this won't happen to Nixotica, but I am sure. Folks, I need to know in the crowd, who are we excited for? Let's hear for Nixotica. Who's excited for Nixotica out there? Now I want to hear it. Who's excited for Jampee out there?
I think a little more Jampee.
A little bit more Jampee. A little bit more Jampee. I think everyone was just being nice and supportive, and I appreciate that. But yeah, we are coming in to potentially the final round. Could be the penultimate round for the 2nd place winner. We will have to wait and see, because we are going on to Cassia. This map is a very scary map. There's so many tight little turns. But if anything, I'm hoping, knock on wood, I'm not cursing him, but this is a good map for Nixotica, because they're very difficult dirt turns, and Nix is a very good dirt player. So this could be to his benefit, and we will just find out, because here we go. We're moving on to the 1st round of the replay of Cassia.
But as you know, Nix knows that he's a very good dirt player, so he could be putting the pressure on himself. He may be a veteran, but that pressure can sometimes still get to you no matter how long you've been playing the game. No matter the stakes, no matter the cost, you can sometimes still fall victim to your own mind. As Jampee falls victim to the hole on the map of Cassia, as Virtuo now needs to deny, or else Nixotica will be putting an end to the 2nd place position, as Nix has an unfortunate gear error. Virtuo, the man in the blue car, is going to try and pull ahead as much as he can. Nix with a little better line, has a lot more exit speed, going to equalize into this grass section. And here we go into the last section of the map.
It is going to be the last moment. Couple drift, 1 drift here, and a little bit of dirt manipulation. How well will you be able to keep your cars down? Make sure you aim for the triangle correctly. Virtuo ends up clipping the wall. Oh my goodness, Virtuo, if he did not clip that hole, that would have worked out. Jampee, other way. It would have worked out perfectly. Jampee's gonna give those 7 points to Virtuo. Congratulations, Nixotica. You did not let the curse live on. You at least take 2nd place here at GDEX 2025. But now, Jampee, as finalist, Virtuo, at 125 points, will have to deny at least 2 more times to get himself into finalist, and then look to get 1st place one more time. So that is 3 first places from Virtuo. That has to happen. And starting off pretty far back, about 0.45 seconds behind, is not looking good.
It is not looking great, but you'd also have to wonder, was Jampee pushing because of Nixotica, or was he pushing to get to try and capitalize on Nixotica's mistake, or just get ahead of Virtuo or something? Yeah. Just to make sure that Jampee was in a position for himself to capitalize on whatever happened. And as you saw many times, that pushing can sometimes lead to clipping in unfortunate parts of the map, but so far, knock on wood, he has not clipped anything going into the uphill drift. Will it be enough for Jampee to finally cross the finish line and crown himself the bronze medal of GDEX 2025? Yes, it is. Please make some noise for Jampee as we are finalized with GDEX 2025.
Yep, and that will be it. Congratulations to our top 4 finalists. Flimsy is, in fact, the GDEX 2025 champion. Congratulations to him. Nixotica taking 2nd place. Jampee finishing out the podium in 3rd. Virtuo, the underdog, making it all the way to the grand finals. Put up an amazing fight. But you know what? With every great competition comes a great end, and that's going to be it tonight. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching. But before we do leave, I would like to thank you for joining me on the casting booth. Thank you very much, Helix. I would love to get our first place winner and get a quick interview. I know it's late, so I want to talk to one person. Can we get Flimsy over here real quick?
I will pass over the headset to Flimsy really quick. So please, if you would not mind putting on.
Come on, come have a seat with me. It's a cool little trophy that he gets. It's a little wiggly though, so we're gonna be careful with that. Flimsy, congratulations for taking 1st place. First of all, I just want to know, how are you feeling?
Great. I was super nervous there at the end. I'm really confident on that map we ended on though.
I'm just letting you guys know, I see him shaking right now. Take a breath. It's okay.
I'm pretty amped.
Good. I'm very happy to hear that. I mean, dude, this, I believe, is your first LAN, correct?
No, I was here last year.
Oh, you were here? You were here last year. That's right. You were here last year. See, I even said it in my casting. I went from not knowing you from last year to all of a sudden you coming out of nowhere. So walk me through it real quick. What was the process pretty much going from start to here? Like, when you saw these maps come out, did you feel that you had 1st place under your belt, or were there doubts at all?
I mean, I knew I had a good shot at it. Just with who was coming, I knew pretty much from the start that Nix would be my main competition. We trained a lot together. It was really back and forth, and I thought it was pretty obvious to me that it was just whoever's better on the day that's going to take it. He had my number all day, beat me twice in really close matches, but I pulled it out in the grand final, so really happy about that.
And just out of curiosity, what was going on in your mind? I mean, the winning round was on Nixotica's pick, because you were 2nd pick. Unfortunately, I think you were planning to try to get into this 1st pick, but you were 2nd pick and you took on Nixotica. Were you feeling all right on that map, or were you kind of wishing you were on a different map?
No, I've actually had Nix's number on that map.
Okay.
Yeah, I was pretty confident in my pace on that map. I knew if I didn't crash, I would pretty much have 1st place most rounds. And I think Nix took that map thinking we would end on the next map, and he wanted to avoid me picking it.
That's fair.
So I guess it surprised me too that we ended on that map, but it worked out for me. So.
Hey man, sometimes it does that. And you have any closing remarks you want to say? Shout outs to anyone?
Shout out Alex, Halcyon, my parents, everybody that's here.
Yeah, all right.
And you for organizing it.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Well, Flimsy, once again, congratulations.
Thank you.
Taking that 1st place. And again, thank you everyone for watching us and joining us here at GDEX 2025. We are going to be wrapping it up, as we are hopefully going to see you again next year at 2026. Nothing confirmed yet, but maybe it'll happen. But I've been Randomized. I've been your host, your TO, your caster, and everything else that has been happening on in the background. Thank you very much once again for joining us, and have a good night.